Hey, what is up, guys? It's Ben with KameTrick. This is the channel that combines both sim drifting and real life drifting. I do both. We've got a rad Discord community of guys who do both. So thank you for checking out tonight's stream. And what is up? We got 7 dudes and ladies watching. How y'all doing? We've got Trav saying hello. What is up, my man? How are you doing? Have a good week. Max, how's it going, dude? Travis can hopefully help you out, Sentinel, because I am mildly aware of how to do that, but it's been a while since I've installed any mods. There is a place in, and I use Content Manager too, but there's a place in there that you have to get it set up, so that is a good question, and hopefully folks here in chat can help you out. If not, the Discord community, which is linked in the description, can certainly get you set up. Lefty, what is up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm dying a little bit. I've been sick for like 2 weeks, and it's just been sticking around, starting with like runny nose, and then sore throat, and then cough, and it's just not going away, but we'll get there. Luke, what is up? How are you, dude? Max, haha, thank you. I'm okay. Trying to get better. That's why I'm trying to practice. Oh, I've got my my cool socks. Everybody wears socks in the sim drifting community. Crazy thing. So I've got my sushi socks on for y'all, even though I'm not going to show them off any more than that, really. But we are just getting set up and about to go shred, hopefully. Make sure that we've got audio, everything looks good. The chat overlay is actually working today, guys. It's kind of a miracle. So in theory, I will be able to drive and chat with a little bit less alt-tabbing, which is excellent. So we are at Forest Park today, a track that I've driven a little bit, but not a lot. It's a cool little track, though. Hey, it's Rema! What's up, Rema? I just pulled out in front of somebody. And messed him all up. I'm sorry, dude. That was not my intent. Oh, now I'm all messed up, and I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. So I don't know this track super well. I mean, a lot of it is second gear. It's nice and wide. It's not very difficult. There are a few tighter sections. And a few good opportunities to throw the car into the wall real hard. Like right here. It's one of my personal favorite places to hit the wall real hard. And then here, we can do a super fast entry, but again, it's really easy to just bash into the wall real hard. So, I always have to learn the tracks on the fly. And Luke, I am driving a C33 Nissan Laurel, a car that I have driven at Ebisu. Did not have a good experience in it, not because it wasn't a good car, I just wasn't a good driver. It was the first time I'd really driven right-hand drive cars. As I do a big angle stall, not trying to. I might be a little bit off my game, being sick. A couple days ago this week, I spent the entire night puking my guts out, but fortunately I'm past that. But obviously I'm just going to spin out a shit ton for some reason. I don't usually do that. So, bear with me, we'll get it figured out here. I'm just getting into the zone. Track is not called Matsuri. The track is Forest Park. The Friday night sort of like jam session that we do is just, I call it the Friday Night Matsuri. It is Japanese for festival. It is not a term specific to drifting for anybody who cares about the Japanese language or wants to nerd out about that for a second. So there's all kinds of Matsuri in Japan. And it just got used to refer to drifting parties or drifting festivals as well. The ass end of this car is like 30 feet longer than I think it is, apparently. Whatever. Ooh, and it's straightened up real hard too. Very strange. Oh yeah, car reviews. So those are still happening. I have had a busy couple of weeks and it's mostly just been the live stream, but my goal is to put together car reviews and weekly live streams for you guys. I've actually got a car and track review combined into one video coming out featuring the brand new 90s Golden Drift Spot project, Ebisu Touge Corsa, and WDT S13 street car. Celerity, what is up? How's it going, dude? Have a good week. TGI Friday for sure this week, guys. Ooh, dropping it into the grass. Way off of the clip. I'm not really trying to get to the clips. I'm just cruising today. Which, I mean, usually is how I drive anyway. But that was just so far off the clip I had to say something. Oh, I went in way too tight there. And let me see if I can steal a glance at chat. Nope, that was a terrible idea. I'm dead. It's kind of a non-traditional dodge. I'll take it. Try to drive a little closer to the clips if I can figure out where they're at. I love me some inside clips. Oof. Got straight up assassinated. I'm gonna slide into the grass here. Check comments for a second because you guys are active. Oh. Yeah, see if you can hop in, man. That'd be cool. Can't be hip and trendy in chat without making mad typos. Dude, I'm like the king of trying to send the shortest text ever and typoing the entire thing. Can't drift WDT or WDT streetcars. What's that about, Bishoy? Is it just like the cars don't feel very good to you and it's hard? Or sponsored by Cough Drops again. Excuse me. Ignore the cough, please. Sorry. Is it just that they don't feel right, or can you like not get them to work? Throw some reverse entries. I might give that a try. I'm probably not so hot at doing reverse entries. Triples. Doshi, my man. No. No, I should just give up on life when it comes to the frickin' triples. I guess I just shouldn't have painted them, to be perfectly honest, because they still smell a little bit like paint, and they could be set up, but I would get in a little bit of trouble if I fumigate the house. I don't understand it though, because like the sim rig that I'm on, I painted, and I didn't have this kind of issue out of it, so I don't understand what the problem is. There's definitely a problem though. It's getting better. Oops. Fuck that all up. Oh well. Ooh, I don't want to be here. Yeah, so it is getting better. It just is taking it a long time for that paint to cure. Maybe because it's winter and it's very cold, so that chemical reaction is happening slowly. I'm not sure. Well, somehow Mr. Jones ended up on the wrong side of the barricades straight away. Ooh, it's kind of odd. I don't know if I'm just off today, or like haven't adapted to the cars yet, or if the Laurel is just really slippery out back. Because it feels great, but all of a sudden it just keeps catching me off guard by picking up tons of angle. I wish I had more for third gear right there, though. Oh, too much brake too soon. I cannot wait to get the triple set up, though. It's going to give me a lot more exciting options, not just for me to be able to see out the side windows, which I'm still struggling with no more side view than you guys are seeing on the stream here, but also because I'm hoping to be able to set up my studio mic to get better audio. Oh, that was a fail. I might do some different things with cameras too. I'd like to get a camera kind of showing a... Can't talk and drive. I'd like to get a camera showing kind of an over-the-shoulder view where you can actually see the shifter and e-brake as well. So I'm pretty excited to have everything kind of finalized. Let's see how that feels. Man. Catch up on chat real quick. Trav says, I've been drifting in Forza Motorsport 7 lately. I've been having some trouble in Assetto. Do you have any wheel setting suggestions? What wheel are you on? And I can see if I do or if anybody else in the chat does. Gamer73 says VDC cars are way too grippy. I've only driven VDC like once. I need to do a review on them. But I tried one of the public cars and it seemed, maybe it was a bad fit on the track or maybe the track was kind of like not a good track, but it seemed really slippery to me, so I don't know. If you put air freshener on it, yeah, I need to do some of that. I just have been busy and I've just left it in the garage figuring it would air out, and it doesn't seem like it has really done a whole lot. Bishoy says, I can drift tandem buddies and clutch gang type cars. WDT seems laggy and they transition fast. Yes, so tandem buddies are what I like to call sort of the bullet time of drift cars in Assetto. They do transition slow, so if you were actually drifting like a real car, a WDT car would transition probably like a Pro-Am type build, and a street car would transition more like my car, but they do transition a lot faster and it feels pretty different. It'll just take some practice to adapt, and if nothing else, don't queue up quite as much counter steer angle before you throw it in the other direction, and it won't transition quite as fast. Or when the car is transitioning from like left to right, breathe onto the foot brake right here when it's facing dead ahead. So like brake, and it will cause it to slow down and not snap to as much angle. So hopefully that'll help with like not spinning. And then as far as it like transitioning weird and throwing you into the wall, that's just going to take some practice, I think. Very new. Hey, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for checking it out. Sneak, dropping fat bars. What's going on, bro? Hey, Foon. Hey, how's it going, man? Got the wheel. All I can say is I make it look easy and have heat on when I'm painting or a little chip. Yeah, I had to paint it in the wintertime, so I had my propane heater on, but the garage I think was just too cold, so I kind of screwed myself on that one. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but I got some patience. Canadian says, having trouble since the file says WiseFab cannot find the file. There should be a link to the cars in the Discord, like a Google Drive link that'll take you straight to it, so I would check there. Trav is on a TMX Pro. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of tips. That's a nice belt drive wheel, so it should self-steer pretty well. Like, take a look at my wheel and see like how, let me get a couple of turns going. So on the next transition, watch the wheel and see how smoothly it goes through my hands. Like, well, that was me being an idiot. I was trying to like let the wheel slip through my hands, and so I did something different with throttle. Like, see how easy it transitions and how quickly. The main thing that you need to make sure is that your wheel is transitioning that fast. So like, if it's really quick like this, then you're probably fine in that regard, and it's just a matter of getting the force feedback the way that you like. Me personally, I'm running Fanatec gear, so I don't know how helpful my settings would be, but like, I run pretty light force feedback. I turned up the spin rate for the wheel a little bit so that it can counter steer a little faster for me. But really all that I tried to do is make it feel like my real car, and all of the guys that drive with me IRL who like have been able to adapt to driving on sim at all, because some folks it just doesn't click for them, have all said it feels pretty much perfect for them. But we're all like not setup nerds. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're just like drivers, so we don't try to like chase down the best possible settings. We're just like, as soon as it isn't annoying to try to drive the car, we're ready to just go like shred and worry about the rest of it some other time, which ends up being kind of like never. Let's see what else we got. Logan's on, yeah, he's on a Logitech. What's up, Logan? Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Luke is requesting a hill climb Touge track. The only Touge track that I've done a whole lot on in Assetto is the actual Ebisu Touge, the new one from 90s Golden Drift Spot, which was last week's stream. Very new. My wheel size is a 330 millimeter, so this is a real wheel off of my A86. It's a Matsuri wheel, so like you'll see it go like from green to purple in the light. It's kind of cool. Just an old school up garage type wheel. Forza, I do want to try Forza. I think for me, I'd be most excited about actually playing Forza Horizon, just because it's so over the top and has like a party style, and I'm kind of a party event kind of guy. So I think that would be cool. Celerity says a couple of the BDC cars require T500 or higher to drive, as they have uncompressed force feedback and rotate way faster than the wheel could handle right on. It's good tech tips there. Can't feel this. Hey man, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for checking it out. I think you helped me a few weeks back when I asked for what wheel to get. Yeah, that would be me, and I'm always happy to help. So thanks for hitting us up. All right, gonna go do a little bit more lapping. I'm driving this C33 Laurel. I have to say it like the Aussies too. Like when I first came across this car in real life, it was at Ebisu, and I called it the Laurel. That's how we say it in America, the Laurel. Well, I don't know if that many Americans even know that this car exists, but like that's how I would say it. And I've got a pretty standard American accent, if you will. But I was with Aussies, and they called it the Laurel. They popped the little E up at the end, the Laurel. So now I always have to call it the Nissan Laurel. Oh, damn. I felt like that was not nearly as bad as it actually looked. That's what I get for trying to glance at chat while I'm mid-corner on anywhere but like 2 turns on this track. Today's video is also sponsored by not trimming your beard ever. I'm not planning on growing this thing out all crazy, but it's kind of happening. I'll try to get it under control at some point. Maybe. Man, I do a poor job at like this turn and the next turn. Woo! That was too much. You guys have any particularly wild or awesome things happen this week or going to happen this weekend? I've got a pretty busy weekend outside of the stream. Got some family plans, and I'm kind of hoping to work on the IRL car a little bit. I'm not really sure if I'll actually get the chance to, though. I need to pull the motor, which I'm not super keen to do, and have the wiring harness repaired on my car. Needs a rear main seal. As well, which is going to take a lot. It's one of the downsides of engine swaps. Depending on what you get, you're not able to reach things as easily as you used to be able to. So if I need to do just about anything to my motor, I actually have to pull the entire thing out, and it's just a lovely pain. Very new. Yeah, man. Curious, but 330. So I think that a 330 wheel feels a little claustrophobic in like a modern car or a big car, and what I mean by that is it feels kind of small. So if you're doing like racing, if you've got a small car like a Miata or an AE86, which is what this came out of, it feels really good, and if you're doing drifting, it feels really good. And that's just my opinion, of course. In a bigger car, though, like my S13, in real life I use a 350, which is not much bigger. The wheel's in the garage, otherwise if I just had it, I'd grab it. It's not much bigger, it's like just out here instead of right here, but it just feels a lot better to me. And if I'm drifting, I generally like a bigger wheel as well. Again, unless I'm in a tiny car like a Miata or a 8.6. For real life stuff, if you're doing grip or autocross, a small wheel might be really nice. It basically lets you get more steering out of the tires for less, like you can react more quickly because the wheel diameter is smaller. So if it was a huge wheel, you wouldn't turn very much, and if it was a tiny wheel, you'd be turning like 2 times or 3 times as much. So you get a bit of that. It feels like your steering is faster when you go to a smaller wheel, but it does take more force, like more physical energy to actually turn the wheel. Modern cars, you tend not to notice it, but if you had an 8.6 that had like a manual rack, you would notice it. Not bad, but you'd notice it. TX for, hey, if anyone knows an answer, please let me know. I use a G920, and when I'm stopped and I try to drive off, my wheel violently shakes. I don't know exactly what to do for that, but I think that there's like a center dead zone setting in the software, and you might be able to widen that up, because it might be shaking because it's got no dead zone, and so it's like steered a bit this way and it's reacting that way, and then that makes it react this way. Can't feel this. I now have a full Fanatec CSL Elite. Heck yeah! Doing grip racing for now, but that's a good call. Once you get the settings down and once you get a good feel for it, you'll really, really enjoy that. Max, what is up, dude? I do want to play Horizon 4. I haven't yet. I agree with you, Can't Feel This, about like the Fanatec products are excellent. I'm not sponsored. I don't get any kickback for saying that. I bought mine used because I'm a cheapskate, but I'm really happy with it. And the only thing I hate is that they are just so expensive, but excellent products. Julian Mueller, hey, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. What are some active servers? I know Drift Junkies so far, but these guys are really limited. Lone Star. I checked Lone Star before I started today's stream, and it actually was not very populated, if at all. So I think Lone Star kind of comes and goes. Great group of guys out there, and some of them are very, very talented drivers. But I think that it's not so active. Of course, the KameTrick drift server, where we are at right now, it's the most active. Oof. It's the most active on Fridays, from basically now until about 3 hours from now. We do kind of a weekly hangout and drift party. What else? It's not super active, but if you want to do Tando Buddies, I like to slide on Ottawa Drift Playground. Oh man, I hope my cough doesn't act up. I can't really scream while I'm choking. And Drift Done GRP has a Mega Tomato server that I enjoy hanging out on. Man, I don't understand what I'm up to. install the extensions for the 501 car pack. That is in the Discord, and IIX Vortex is the guy who actually made that pack, so you can ask him directly if you hop in there. I don't actually remember how to do that. Sorry. Caveranui says I'm going to be getting an AccuForce, and my heart is just racing because it's probably more than I should do. That'll be rad. Grange later tonight, Wendy. Yeah, let's try that. I think Vortex will be on to change the track, so I'll ask him to hit up Grange. That'd be cool. Fanatec also violently shakes when starting from 0 or when it's a straight line. That's got to be something to do with the center dead zone. Either force feedback is way too high, DRI is way too high, but I mean, I've not had any issues with that, or the dead zone is set to like nothing, and so it's always trying to steer towards center like that. Because mine certainly doesn't do that. Yeah, happy to share info about the wheel size. Yeah, 280 is going to be, it's going to feel like a toy for one thing. You'll like 330 a lot better in my opinion. The only reason I wouldn't is if the wheelbase isn't strong enough to move a slightly heavier wheel, but I think you'll be fine with the Thrustmaster. Centering spring strength, yes, that could be. I mean, you just play with it. You know, cut it in half and see if it's any different, and if it's not, cut it in half again, and hopefully that'll help. Julian, yeah, happy to help. Actually, I think I'm gonna look for a different car real quick. I don't hate this car, but I think I want to try something different. So we're going to oh god, bounce out. I'm gonna choke to death. I've also only got Ebisu clips playing on my drift video loop, and that's just bothering me. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. Don't mind me, Mr. Technical Difficulties over here. Bam! There we go, everything's back. Much better. So I want to leave that on for a second while I go scoop up a different car. Let's see. Everybody wants the DW Spec Wise, or no, everybody doesn't want the DW Spec Wise Fab car. Everybody wants WDT Street. Interesting. Or maybe they just don't have it. Well, they've got an RX-7, and I want to hear rotary sounds. So let me see if I can drive this without totally crashing. Looks like the cough is just not going to go away, guys. Sorry about that. Arc10, what is up, man? Good to see you. Welcome back to the stream. I ordered a PC finally, and then it got canceled. Did your PC got canceled? Did the order get canceled? What's going on? Ah, Luke says do an 8.6. All right, let me cut a few laps in this FD, and then I will I'll grab the 8.6. I think there's one available. TX for I need more car packs and tracks. Since I'm new PC, all I have is DTP and Mega Tomato. Yeah, check my video library. There's a lot of shameless plug, but there's a lot of there's a few reviews of some good cars and packs, and I generally put the links in the descriptions as well. Badger, what is up? How's it going? Is the G920 a good starting wheel? Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. If you can afford it, I would highly recommend getting a belt drive wheel. It's going to counter steer a lot faster and just make your life happier if drifting is your main focus. But otherwise, if it's all you can afford, it's not a bad choice. And if you're going to grip as well, then it's adequate for that too, in my opinion. Wilkta, what is up, dude? Gotta download WiseFab. Yep. Second one is our last FFB and had a loud squeak. Ugh. Yeah, man, it is the season for sure. I've been sick for like 2 weeks, the last couple streams. That is so weird, can't feel this. You've definitely got something going on with the wheel settings. I guess try Googling it. I hate to say something so basic, but like, I have no idea what's up with that. Got DTP from me as well. Right on. Well, personally, I really enjoy the, get this going here. Ooh. I really enjoy the WDT Street 501 DWY's Fab, and I mean, I like Tando Buddies too, but I'm crazy. God dang. Okay, that was unnecessary and weird. I've never started in this little back area before. Let's hear some rotary noises. This car feels so nimble compared to the Laurel. Ugh, that's not sounding good. Yeah, I quite like how this car feels. Oh, I thought I was going to be alright. Sorry, Wendy. My bad. Woke says, have I tried WDT Street? Yes, I have. We're actually running that on the server tonight, too. I am a fan. That's one of my favorite packs. Fell in love with it pretty much as soon as I drove it. I kind of almost need third gear in a few spots here. Nope, fell out of boost. That was poor. Oh, God. 1 second. I'll be right back. I can't breathe. Alright, I'm back. I'm not hardly any better. Got some meds. I may just have to drive some and, like, type to you guys tonight. Because this talking is making it way worse. Ugh. Oh man, I'm dying. Not good. Oh. I'm gonna have a difficult time streaming if I can't talk. I'm not sure. Man, guys, I don't know if I'm going to keep the stream up tonight or not. Y'all might have to hang out in the chat and let me just, like, drive, which is a bit more boring than I usually try to do for you all. But I'm experiencing difficulty even just trying to talk without coughing my head off, so it's not good. Just trying to push through it and bring out some somewhat fun content, but being sick kind of kills it when the content is based around communicating and talking. So I might reply on chat. Yeah, this is bad. Oh. It's not usually this bad, but it happens. So that. what's up, Asman? Yeah, sorry, dude. I am sick. I've been sick for a couple weeks, and my voice is just dead. I mean, actually, my voice is fine, but if I talk for very long, I start coughing, like, uncontrollably, and I can't breathe. So, kind of doing some, like, mime shit today. Sorry about that. Minecraft. Hey, what's up, Wild? Not yet. The freaking... I painted the stuff in the winter, and it was cold in the garage. I did my best to heat it up with my propane heater, but it's still... like, the paint is still curing, and I don't care. I don't mind a little paint fumes, but it kind of would stink up the house, and my wife wouldn't like it, my little girl probably wouldn't like it, so... trying not to fumigate everybody. I keep saying next week, because I was freaking sure that it would be fine this week. But, hopefully next week. Counting on it. Try a somewhat big entry if I can on the 8.6. It was okay. Ooh, dirt drop. Probably hard to follow going this slow. Whoa, got away from me there a little bit. For all you new folks who have joined in, my apologies for not talking a whole lot. I am still getting over illness, and it's moved down to be kind of a cough. So sometimes if I talk for very long, I just start coughing like crazy and I'm miserable. So it's kind of a silent. That was rowdy. Kind of a silent stream tonight compared to as much as I'm usually chatting. Sorry, guys. Yes, I still have the little 27-inch, which is a nice monitor, but it's still a little monitor attached in front of the wheel. Oh, Max, I saw that earlier and I didn't reply. My bad. My dream car. I would really like to get to spend some time in a FD3S RX-7. I mean, assuming dream cars are normal cars, like, if I could drive anything, it would have to be the 787B. I'm actually a pretty big rotary fan. I'm eagerly following my friend Rob Dom's 3-rotor and 4-rotor videos. As far as the most like random drift car that I kind of want, if I had unlimited money, I want to build a Cadillac CTS-V wagon drift car. I think that would be really unique and fun. But yeah, ever since I saw it at Fuji Speedway, I mean, well, really since before then, but 787B will be like the coolest car to drive if I fit in it. It's actually pretty small. I think I'd fit though. I'm not that big. Oh, that was some classic 8.6 shit. No foot brake. No e-brake. All gas. What about you guys? Bust out in the chat. What is your dream car? Give us something realistic, like a FDRX7, and then something like ultra crazy, like the 787B. That's a great question. If I ever do an interview series, which I'd like to do a driver interview series at some point for the channel, then that's going to be a question on there for sure. Come on, car. Can we do it? That'll work. I'll take it. Ooh. Too much angle. Got caught off guard on that transition. Yeah, I deserve that. I'm going slow. My bad. Oh, I spun it. Killed it. Oh, Doshi, you're fine, man. All good. Change up the car again. See what else we can get. R34 RX-7, yeah, the 34 is a very cool car. Rotor Miata would be cool. RB26 S13s. I've not driven a 26 in a S13. I've tandem with one. They're quick, and they sound awesome. Kevin Lawrence is rocking what could arguably be considered a 26, although it's a 30 or something crazy because he's got it all bored out. What do you guys think? Chaser, Cresta, or JZX90 Mark II? Doji, yeah, man, the Sylvias are awesome. And especially if you didn't have access to them, like around here you can get S13s and S14s pretty easily. But if they didn't have them in your area especially, then they're amazing cars. I'm kind of numb, not numb to them, but I'm used to seeing them, so I can't really pick an S13 because like I've owned one for a long time now. They're awesome chassis though. Ooh, Max with the R33. Alright. It's a unique pick. I don't hate the R33. I feel like it gets a lot of hate sometimes for no real reason, but alright, you guys want the Chaser. Chaser it is. I should have put on my video chat background, but oh well. It is loading. It'll be here soon. Oh. Alright, that cough seems to be slightly more under control. Ooh, that is a pretty looking car. I like that sort of green. Rema, bad install of cars and track. Ah, thank you, Rema. Appreciate you. Gage, love joining your lobbies. Just constant tandies. Hey, thank you, dude. I appreciate it, and thanks for joining the stream as well. That's rad. Oh shit! I keep forgetting that I'm like in this back parking lot. I've only driven this track a few times, but I've never started back there. It's catching me off guard. So I've never driven this particular car in the WDT Street pack. So I'm hoping that it feels amazing. So far it sounds really nice and it's driving just fine. Doing kind of a funky follow. But it's because I've got kind of a funky lead. So distracting. I'm like trying to nope, I can't go that way. I'm still in this little fenced area. I'm trying to look at the car radar, which I'm not used to using. You can see it above the tachometer. And yeah, it just is not working for me so well. Hey Wild, I live in the USA. I'm in the central United States. I haven't been to too many places. I used to live in Japan, and I've been to Mexico and Canada for work, back when I used to work for Denso. So per the usual, I'm giving kind of a non-existent chase run to Remo. Even though he's given me this awesome lead to follow, and foot braking for me so that I can keep up. Might need the left foot brake there like he does. don't know if I hit Rema or if that was an unusual mistake. Rema is one of the most consistent drivers that I regularly roll with. He's also got a YouTube channel, so check him out. I'll do the only thing I'm good for on signal monitors, which is lay down some semi-passable lead runs. Oh, you're in Oz. Right on. Ooh, that was close. I almost need third gear for this part of the track. Ooh, it'll actually drift in third too. Alright. Well, in that case, challenge accepted. Nope, that's wall. Oh, damn it. Hey, Averanui. Thanks for checking out the stream for a little bit. We appreciate it. Have a good night, dude. Luke, I am with you. A chaser would be awesome to own, but same boat, stuck in the States, and I'm not trying to spend all that importation money. But if you ever decide that you want to get one and you need your certificate of deregistration translated to English, hit me up. I have done a few. I've done a Safiro, and I think I've actually done a Laurel to bring things back around to the start of the screen. Come on, car. You can do it. Maybe. Nope. Maybe not. Oh, that was like a crazy line, but I'll take it. Wild asks, have I ever been to Oz? I have friends from Australia, quite a few. So I would like to go. Unfortunately, America is such a big-ass country that like going anywhere outside of the country is quite expensive. And I don't have a ton of spare money. So yes, I would definitely want to go to Australia. When I used to live in Japan, I was friends with a bunch of exchange students, and a lot of my best friends are in Australia. I've also got some friends in the UK and Germany. Oh, that was bad golf. Sorry, Doshi. I don't know what I was doing. I was sleeping. Woo. My bad, bro. But I bet that going to Australia would be like 1,500 US per person, just to like get over there before you even get a meal or a hotel room or anything. So like it makes it hard for me to want to go, just because it's so damn expensive. But I've got drift buddies over there. I've got school buddies from when I was in Japan over there. I know several of the guys who drive with the high-tech Drift All-Stars. I think that's what they're still calling it. Oh, that was destined to fail. That was a bad idea. So I'd absolutely love to visit and see them. I got some friends in, like, I think it's the capital too, or maybe it's the capital, Canberra, Cambridge, something like that. It's the place where all the like people who work for the government tend to live. Shout out, Bob, Jackie. If you're randomly watching this, you'll be able to tell me that I'm saying the names of important cities incorrectly. Sorry about that. Oh, that came out nicely. I'm actually fairly happy with that. That's one of the turns on this track that I just never feel like I do remotely correctly. Rema, I am still not running triples, unfortunately. Apparently I just messed up real big by spray painting it. I thought spray paint would cure even faster than the like exterior door paint that I used on the frame. But maybe because it's winter and so stuff is just like taking, oops, it's cold and stuff's taking forever to cure. But the stuff is still stankin'. Fuming up the house, getting me in trouble with my wife. Which, I mean, that's just drift life, but she is so supportive, and she loves to come for ride-alongs with me when I'm drifting, so, like, if I want to keep it that way, you know, try to find the middle ground, because she's awesome. Awesome lady. Canberra! Oh, yeah, okay. That sounds right. If you'd asked me to spell it, even right after they told me what the name of it was, I don't think Canberra is what I would have come up with, but that definitely sounds right. What is up, Sim Invader? Welcome to the stream. This is the KameTrick Drift Bash number 1 server. We are rocking Forest Park with the WDT Street and DW Wisefab packs today. Man, that was a ton of angle. I didn't think he was going to hold it. Thank you, Emma. Appreciate that. Did I paint some mounts? So, like, I've built a sort of a custom desk, basically, for the triple monitors to go on. And I painted the desk, both the legs as well as the main surface. I painted it black to match my rig, which is unremarkable, but I just think it's going to look really good in footage, to the degree that like the actual, oh, killed us all, shit, to the degree that the, what am I trying to say, that the desk will show up at all. So I put that on there, and oh, we must be to yeah, 55-second server cooldown. So if you've not seen it all already, check out my lovely sushi socks. I'm trying to be one of the cool kids and actually rock random socks, because that's how, you know, all the streamer guys do it. Actually, I've had these for forever. I like neat socks. I just don't usually try to show off my socks. Unfortunately, though, I keep ending up having my friggin' pants all high water style. It's just because this bucket seat is hard to get in and out of. Let's see. Yeah. So it's just a ton of surface area. Honestly, it's like 5.5 feet or 6 feet wide by at least 3 feet deep, and it's cut out so you can't really see my my wheel, but like I use my phone. So if this is my my wheelbase, when viewed from above, I have it cut to like come out like this, so that the monitors can be really close and then wrap around to the side like of my seat. So the monitors themselves come up like to here and here, further out, but I want to make sure you can see them on the stream camera. Don't try to be like them just for you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know any other way to be. I'm just a goofy fool, so pretty sure I've got my own style. My bad. Pretty well defined. Alright, let's go cut a few more here. I do like funky socks. What I don't like, honestly, is dressing up. I used to like dressing up all the time, and then I got a day job where I had to be in a suit and tie, or at least like a button-down shirt and tie and slacks and dress shoes. And now that I have to dress up for work, I'm like, forget all that. I just want to wear a t-shirt and jeans all the time. Keep it casual, like my drifting car. Oh boy, here comes the cough. I'm gonna conserve my vocal cords here for a second. But I will toss out a shameless plug. If you are watching right now, thank you first of all. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. Please do so. Help YouTube learn that my content is cool and that it'll recommend it to more people so we can grow the Drift Friends community. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that good jazz. I'm going to do some smooth lead runs for the boys here. Well, I say smooth, what I really mean is we're going to wipe out in front of them like a noob. It's not possible to fit through there in this boat. One thing I will do differently when I have my triples, because I'm always really tentative when people are transitioning, because I typically can't see them. So it's really difficult to match their angle and stuff. Ooh, just a little tap, I think. I thought that was a little too close. We're alright. Let's just send it and see what happens. Oh my! Caught up quick enough. Hey, that's alright. Decently happy with that. That was not. Oh, too much sauce, dude. I was down though. I followed you right through it. see if I can read while drifting. Oh, Arc10 asked, what is that thing in the center? So that is an app called Car Radar, and it does exactly what you might think. So you can see right now that there's a car behind me. I'm the center shape, and then it sort of gives you a visual indicator, even if you're not looking directly at the screen, about, whoa, I messed up, about your proximity to the car behind you, which doesn't matter as much, and to the car in front of you, which is really handy if you're on a single monitor, especially, and you're not able to look over and see what's coming. It kind of tells you, do you need to push harder? Do you need to start getting onto the left foot brake any? Have they transitioned yet? And for me, I have to do a lot of that without being able to see visually whether or not the lead car has. Rona says, don't know if you saw it, but my VR experience wasn't the greatest. I'm trying to read and drift at the same time. I'm going to try to make room for a DIY rig and maybe a single ultra-wide since I don't really have space for triples. So I saw that you were having difficulty with the graphics just being garbage at any sort of a range, if I recall. And then you guys were throwing around some of the technical terms about the super sampling, and I haven't really researched that. I could learn it, but I haven't learned it. But it definitely sounded like you were having some graphical issues. I wasn't sure if they were going to turn out to be on the hardware side or the software side. But I am bummed to hear that. I will say that you can do pretty decently with a DIY rig. Ooh, that's close to the wall. Ooh, a little wall tap. Excellent. So this might be a really terrible idea, but something I've always wondered is, does anybody do dual monitors? I mean, all the grip guys are going to say, well, that puts the bezel right in the middle. Who would want to do that? But my answer is any drifter, because you never look straight out the front anyway. You're always looking out the sides. So wouldn't it be all right to shift the bezel to the middle? Just a random idea, but like, if you don't have room for 3, maybe you have room for 2. A single ultra-wide will do you alright as well, though. And if you can stand real head motion or custom shaders patch neck, which pivots for anybody who doesn't know, I'm sure Remy will, but it pivots the camera in the direction that the wheel is turned, so it effectively, that's tight, makes it look in the direction that you're steering, like for counter steer. I feel like that would be the other thing to try if it works for you. Messes me up. The Sick One, what is up? Thank you for joining the stream. We are on PC. I am fighting off a gnarly cold, so I'm not talking as much as usual. I do reply, so feel free to hit me up in chat, but if I talk for very long, I get this nasty cough going that I can't seem to shake, so it's a little bit less interactive than a lot of my streams, but by all means, come watch, hang out, subscribe, all the good stuff. Oh, she says my lines are bad on this track. Yeah, I mean, mine aren't that great either. What I haven't done yet, that I always do, is talk about my strategy for the tracks, my line and everything. I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow Johnny all that effectively. Oh, I'm all over him. My bad, bro. Oh, I feel bad. Right, well, sorry about that, Johnny. Right, so for this track, it starts out, it's mostly second gear stuff, and you can just roll through it with easy transitions. I typically do the off throttle, as you'll see there, transitions here, and then roll back into throttle once the car is stable. But if I want it to travel a little farther, like if I'm transitioning a little earlier than I want to, I do stay on throttle for it, or I wait until the car starts to come around. Depending on the car here, I go up to third, if the car can handle it, and if I do, I'm back down to second here. little bit of foot brake, e-brake, or coasting right there because the radius tightens up. And then if I can, up to third here. A push kick as the white walls start. Let off, still in third, modulating the throttle to try to get close to the wall like that without eating it like we just did. And then that wraps us back around to the front of the track. Asman, yes, I do have a handbrake. I have the Fanatec CSW handbrake. I'm pretty much full Fanatec. Fanatec, sorry I'm saying it wrong. Fanatec stuff right now. I'd love to connect with some of the folks who are actually on the Fanatec team. So if you guys know anybody, then introduce me or DM me and I'll hit them up. Might see if there's any cool stuff coming out that I could help them out with anyway. Because I do enjoy the gear. I feel like it's pretty expensive, but as far as the performance of it, I'm really pleased. She says people used to rock dual monitors on LFS. Hell yeah. See, it makes sense to me. I mentioned that on a forum somewhere, and people kind of reacted like I was a crazy man. I thought, yeah, I would do it, especially for drifting. Arc 10, what about quad monitors? I mean, I guess if you're throwing backies, you need some quad monitors for sure. I would have gotten VR personally if I could, but I get bad VR sickness, dudes. Like, it just wrecks me. Within about 2 minutes of driving, I'll feel terrible for the next, like, half hour. So, I mean, VR is awesome because it's way less space. And, I mean, it's oftentimes legit cheaper than triples, which is your next best setup. Not too much wall again. You can get an ultra-wide monitor, which I haven't tried, but I feel like you're going to be getting a similar experience as to what I've got, where either you just can't see, or you're going to have to rock an unrealistic field of view, or, of course, if you can stand real head motion or something to that effect that moves the camera around, then you'll be fine with that. Because you don't need a whole lot of motion with something that wide. Remus says, yeah, long story short, something hardware or software related is preventing any visual... Oh, I did see that on the Discord. That is so weird that it's blocked your visual changes somehow. So did you decide to RMA it, or... Like, well, obviously you're going to RMA it. But, like, are you going to get another one to see if it was that specific kit? Or are you just going to not fool with it and get something that you know is going to work on the monitor side? I guess you're going to do the monitor deal. Asman says, my son and I built our own handbrake. I've seen DIY handbrake stuff, and if I hadn't bought all my stuff as a kit, I would have tried it. How sturdy do you feel like your handbrake is? That's my one curiosity about the DIY e-brakes, is like, are they going to hold up to all of the abuse that they could be put through? I try to be pretty gentle with mine, but I still have a cable e-brake, so I'm pretty sure I rip on it pretty good. Like, on my real car, that is. Whew. Coming in hot. Damn, Rema, I didn't realize that you were using a 24 with Content Manager neck. That is sick, dude, because you kill it. I think for me, I always knew that I wanted to go to triples or VR, so like, I told myself I didn't have to try that hard on single monitor, even though I could. So I sold myself short a little bit. I could have developed better skills if I had tried a little bit more. Although I'm getting some practice now, finally. Damn it. It's queued up for everybody. Oh, my cough has gotten better. It's not come back just yet. Dual ultra wide and curved. I think dual ultra wide would be sick. Asman says the e-brake is a keyboard PCB and a micro switch. Fair. Kame try AR uses your head motion, but you use your monitors. So like, if I look over here, the camera angle shifts. That would be cool, but with my eyes it would be weird, because like I would be tracking like that to see the... Maybe. But I've actually already got triples, I just haven't got them quite set up yet. Arc10 says, would you sacrifice graphics with VR if you could use it? I mean, if you can, try before you buy, but personally, I think the immersion from VR is next level, especially if you can get a better kit. So, I mean, I'd be really excited about the Valve. I'd love to try that kit at some point. I'm not going to buy it just to try it, though, so I'd have to know a friend who had it. I still think I'm going to get VR sickness, but I would tolerate the 30 minutes of feeling like death in exchange for trying it. So yeah, I mean, I would kind of say, especially if you don't already drift in real life, VR would be pretty cool. It's very immersive, and you have like depth perception. It's very neat. Is it play-to-play on 3 1920 by 1080s? Oh, no, 3 1920 by 1080s is fine. The main thing you want to think about there is, I should drive somewhere that's more interesting if I'm just going to take a second and do a chat break. I want to get somewhere where you guys can actually watch some driving. I had no idea that the parking lot looks like it's raised up there. What's up, Doshi? I'm just trying to get somewhere where everybody can watch some Tandies while I read chat for a second before I jump out. That tree is straight up in the way. That's alright. We're just going to kick it on the track slightly like a jerk. See if anybody else besides me is in reverse. Oh, no, they'll just stay out of the way. That works. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, for triples, 3 1920 by 1080 is totally fine. The one thing you want to consider is the height. So, some monitors are... it just depends on the dimensions. I think it's 16 by 9 is what you want. You want something that's kind of tall, because once you go to triples, your width is going to be fine, but you don't want it to feel like you're looking out of like a gunnery slit on like a tank or something. So if the monitor height is too small, it might just feel a little weird. Got just hair for those boys, just in case. But yeah, I think 1080s are alright. For me, I actually was going to buy 1080s, and then at the last second, I decided to go up to 2K, which was definitely more expensive, but I thought, you know, if I play anything besides Assetto, if the next version, you know, if the next Assetto drift game that's like better and new graphics and everything comes out, I want to make sure that I can run it and it will look nice. And so I thought, okay, 3 2K monitors will be pretty good. Like, that'll have a long, future-proof life. Whereas if I am rocking 1080s, I might be a little disappointed with myself if something new comes out that I'm really stoked on playing, and I'm just not pleased with the graphics. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Max wants to know everybody's favorite, or everybody's dream car for like the 3rd or 4th time in chat tonight. Mine is still the 787B if you want crazy shit, or like a triple rotor FD. HK is going to get Oculus VR, looks amazing. Right on. HK is going from a 2 monitor to a 34-inch curved LG monitor. Okay. Let me know how that works. I'm curious. And Asman says that the e-brake was super durable right up until his son gave it the people's elbow. So hopefully he didn't get hurt. Panda, what is up? I think I saw one of your comments in chat earlier and I didn't reply, so my bad. I was probably busy trying not to die because this cough is killing me. G29 pedals wide enough to hold lateral forces. Okay. Mine's RX-7. Yeah, I guess it is late over there, or early, one of the two. But thank you for checking out the stream. Always glad to have new folks on, so yeah, thanks for coming out. See you around. And I'm sure the cough will get better. Hopefully by next week I'll be back to talking way too much and not driving enough for you guys. Psych says the motion sickness usually goes away with time. It does usually. I got to borrow a kit for like a month or two, and it did not go away for me to the point, at least to the point where I could justify spending like $1,000 on a valve kit. I'll try it again when I get a chance though. Panda says get the free camera mod so you can place the camera somewhere instead of moving the car. Tell me about that. I've seen people do that and I didn't realize that's what it was. Need to learn that. Doshi says bad part about motor run engines is that the wheelbase heats up. Yeah, it's getting hot in this room. Between the PC, the wheel, I've got a light to make the video quality not be completely terrible. I like that paint scheme on that 180. Arc 10, I really love how you communicate with your followers. Hey, thank you, dude. Yeah, I think that that's the missing piece for a lot of streamers. I mean, anybody can drive, anybody can play games, but like, the point, if you're going to stream, in my opinion, is to build a relationship and build an audience and hang out with people. So that's what I've always been about in the real-life drifting scene, and I just take that into sim. So making a crew, and you know, every Friday is a little family reunion, and we all hang out and talk about what's new. Thinking ahead is great to do. Yeah, send it to me in Discord. I'll totally check it out. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to go drive for a little bit now that I'm all caught up. I was going to go out behind Dennis, but now I'm not sure I want to. Oh, I neutral bombed it. That was weird. I thought, gee, the tires are cold. They're making no traction. Wait, I'm in neutral. I just suck at them. Alright, up to third we go. Little foot brake, little e-brake. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Scrape the nose. Down to second. If there was ever a competition on this track, I feel like I would actually, well, that I wanted to participate in. I feel like I would do kind of decent. Because it's almost all inside clips. And as someone who has practiced both grip and drift, I'm all about those inside clips. I love them. They're fun. Oh, that was gross. I'm sorry, dude. That was a terrible lead corner there. Ah, dang it. Man, I am always wiping out right there. It's alright. It's alright. We'll still send it. Transition late as I often do, not being able to see. Because I don't use real head motion like I should. I'm looking in that little sliver under the side view mirror between the door and the side view when I'm going the opposite direction. Trying to figure out when I should do stuff. That transition was way late. Keeping it tight for the gentleman behind me, because I know that was all my bad for getting way out of sorts. So I was keeping it tight so that he wouldn't have to worry about dodging me. I wonder if I can just stay in third. I don't feel like I can stay in third. Oh, she just goes for the pass like a boss. Trying to be a good trace driver, but he's leaving me. So then the question is, do I go for the pass like a boss? If I do, I gotta transition differently so that I can take the inside. That's such an opportunity. Has not come up. Some initial lead move, whatever. Line attack. It's fine. Oh no! And my IRL drifter instincts took over as I did a dodge in sim and failed on the drift run. Oh, revenge tap. Oh, we're doing it now. I'm just gonna go right back around. Oh, it's getting real serious. Oh. Little tap, we're going up to third to try to get away. Oh, I'm dead. That hurt. Oh man, that was fun. Fanatec says you just gotta change a file and it will let you have a free cam on the F6 key. Okay. So basically one of these... God dang, that car looks so cool. One of these cams will be like movable basically. And then how do I move it? Do I use like the mouse or the keyboard, or do I have to get like an Xbox controller and do the Joy-Cam type stuff? I still haven't tried Joy-Cam out. Doshi, do you mind to lead a little bit more? I'm not a great chase driver, but I need some more practice. Well, I'm a decent chase driver in real life. Oh, I guess I'm gonna chase Dennis, who is crushing it, all up on my door. I always transition later than like everyone else. I need to stop doing that. Specifically on that turn, but just in general. When folks are on the right because I can't see. Go out wide like I should. Didn't transition quite as late as I usually do there though, so I'll take that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my fault, dude. I apologize. It was not on purpose. I was going for that little touch of left foot brake, and right now I'm in the habit of trying to look at my car radar, which I'm not used to using that app, at the same time as I was going to left foot brake, and it just slowed me down enough to be like, alright, is it time? And in that moment that I was checking to see if I was as close as I wanted to be, I got too close, and it was too late by the time that I got onto the brake, so sorry about that. Although we've got a cool crew here. You know, like, there's good tandems, we bump each other. Nobody's outright wrecking folks on purpose, but, like, it doesn't get heated. We're all chill. I'm happy to say that on this track anyway, my ability to read the chat while drifting is getting slightly less bad. Spoiler alert, that means I just jinxed myself and I'm about to wipe doing it. And it says I explained it all on the message. I saw that pop in on my phone, which is sitting on the edge of the rig. So thank you for that. I'm pretty excited to see that, because I will totally, given how often I stop the chat, will take advantage of that. Irma says I'll hop back in after I stretch. Dude, for real. Are you using a well, Rema, what's your seat setup like? Are you using like a desk, an office chair, or do you have a rig with like a bucket? Because I feel your pain. At the end of these streams, I like just fall out of the sim and cry on the floor for a second. Because as cool as it looks, it's not very comfortable, just like the real car. Not bad, but the real car can't drive for 3 or 4 hours straight. So I get a lot more rest and breaks than I do in the sim. I really like this chaser. I didn't think I was going to. So that probably means this chaser is going to be the next car that is in my review video series, which I need to pick back up. Haven't really done one for a while. Ooh, we got a little train going on. Extra people in the car radar. Sorry, I've got to cut it tight. I'm not trying to pinch everybody out. I fucked it up. I didn't have the gearing. Office chair, wheel mounted to the desk. That is, that was my old setup. Not since I've been streaming that we've known each other, but yeah, man, build a cockpit. Either a wooden one, or you can do an aluminum one. If I had realized how easy the aluminum ones were to build, I would have considered it. They are expensive, though. But at least with that, you can take them apart, like if you have to move. But even if you just do a wooden one, like I've done, like, they don't take up that much space until you get into multiple monitors. And it's slick just to be able to hop in. Not have to worry about everything shaking and flexing all over the place. Like, with how good you drive anyway, you may not need any of that, but it's just a relief not worrying about seeing all your shit fly all over the place whenever you're shifting and e-braking and all that jazz. Yeah, we're in the same boat. Thumbs up for Premiere. That is my editor of choice as well. And that edit that you dropped the other day, man, that was sick. It looks so good. I did like a feature series on my YouTube channel, I would, and maybe I will later, but I would 100% shout you out, because that shit was awesome. JT Pro, what is up, man? Oh, I'm just dying, don't mind me. Yeah, it has been a while. How are you, dude? I still have my old wheel, but should be upgrading by next year. Right on. Are you going to wait for the proper new year, or are you going to catch a Christmas special? Logitech Driving Force Pro for life. That would be first gear. Oh, so thankful that my cough has gotten under control. It comes and goes in these weird waves. Sometimes it's just once in a while. But if it gets going, I like straight up cannot breathe. Doshi, good slides, got back pain now, getting off. I feel your pain, my man. But yeah, you were killing it. Thank you for the nice leads and nicer follows. One of these days I'll be able to do those nicer follows as well. Have a good night. Thanks for coming out. JT Pro, I'm going to get a Christmas sale. That is the way to go. JT, remind me what wheel you were thinking about getting. Were you going Thrustmaster or Fanatec? Trying to skin the nose of this thing all up on the wall. Thrustmaster T300, yeah, no, that's a good choice. Oh, that is one of those moments where I'm not able to read chat while I slide. I'm going to use the old Gran Turismo bobsled technique on that wall. I was straight up reading chat just then. Just like all I see is wall, I'm like, well, this is probably not going to work, but we're just going to send it. Rumham, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the KameTrick drifting channel. We've got real life drifting, which is where I learned everything that I know. We've got sim drifting, and we combine the two. How do, I'm reading the chat in between corners, how do I get the wheel to rotate so fast on its own? My Thrustmaster must be trash. Well, it is definitely a function of how good the wheel is. Thrustmaster has gear-driven wheels, gear and belt hybrid wheels that are driven by both, as well as just straight up belt drive wheels. And what you're seeing online is a straight up belt drive wheel. It is a Fanatec CSW, which is one of their sort of top consumer or pro consumer, whatever you want to call that, wheels. But I know that Thrustmaster products do have a compatible, a competitive level of steering speed for, I think it's their TX and their 300 series. So some of it, like, there's not any special settings. It's all in the technology of the drive system of the wheel. Any belt-driven wheel, which is what I use, should be able to steer fast like this. And it is super rad, and it's the only... Ooh, God. Oh, this is not going to be pretty. Hold on. It's the only way that you can get a realistic counter steer, from what I have seen. Unless we're talking direct drive wheels, but that's expensive, so forget all that mess. Reverend Grit, what is up? Good to see you, dude. This is Kame. I wish I could join this week, maybe next. I can cut another corner, get the car stable, and read more. Def gonna watch this stream though. Hell yeah. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciate the love. We are just in the process of leading a handy little tandem train through Forest Park. I'm starting to, in the traditional way, which I don't really mean to do, making myself look like a fool, but I'm basically learning tracks as I go. So we're going to start in third gear. We're going to clutch kick when the wall starts. Oh god, that was too much. That was too much. We're going to tap the nose of the car on the wall. Down to second. And catch this clip. Keep it wide. Come in and catch that clip. And then it's all second gear for the rest of the track. Lots of throttle modulation. Complex corner in, out, and back to the inside. A little too soon. Typically off throttle transitions through here. Not using full throttle because I want to keep it tight there. Not that I'm really making a strong effort to hit these clips. Up to third in this particular car, which threw off my chase partner. Back down to second as it decreases in radius. And then back up to third again with a couple of clutch kicks to help it out. We'll bomb towards the wall. Off throttle. Modulate the... Oh, nope, I still tagged it. I get so close to that wall and I very frequently just destroy it. But that is the gist. TMX. So Rema, who is both in the stream and sometimes in the chat, I'm not sure if he's in the chat right now, but he was earlier. He had a TMX before. I think he did. And then he went to a TX, I believe. I'm not completely familiar on all the acronyms that Thrustmaster uses. But he said that it was a noticeable jump up. One thing that you can do to help yourself, though, if your wheel is counter steering on the slow side, is to anticipate when it's going to transition and throw the wheel. So, like, I'm not doing that. If you... Sorry, I'm distracted. I don't know if you can see my fingers well enough on the stream, but I'm basically just, like, going like this and letting the wheel slip through my fingers. I'm not actually steering it when it's time to counter steer. And if you've got a real car that's set up decently, it will do the same. So basically I'm just grabbing the wheel, and then when I want it to counter steer, I let off. And then grab it again to make my adjustments, and let off. Hold it, and like apply a little braking force by squeezing the wheel just a touch. I'm driving really poorly because I'm trying to explain something, so sorry to my chase drivers. And that works for this wheel because it self-steers so easily. But if it doesn't do that, you can help it by grabbing it and throwing it in the direction. So for me, I do that by pulling the wheel down. So it'll probably mess me up to try to do here. But like I would throw the wheel like that, and it will help the car to counter steer, and you basically do that every transition. It takes a little bit of practice because it can be distracting to throw the wheel if you don't usually, but you throw it like that and it'll help it. And so then you go around and you're fine if you're stable mid-drift, and then here with this hand you're going to throw it, and then with this hand throw it, and that's going to speed up the counter steer. You're effectively using your body to do what the motor is failing to do for you to the degree that it should. So that's pretty much the answer with any Logitech wheel and with some of the Thrustmaster wheels as well. Urban Grit, unfortunately the 3-screen, stretching my back, is not, is still not deployed. I've just got the worst luck. Long story short, it's really cold out and the paint is taking forever to cure. So I still, like, if you think, you've not maybe seen it from when you joined, but at the start of the stream I had this god-awful cough. And if you thought the cough was bad at the beginning of the stream, or during this stream, just imagine if I was in like paint fumes. I would have to hop offline. Nahuel, what is up, man? Never miss a Friday drift. Heck yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, Rema knows what's up when it comes to the Thrustmaster products. Probably about to be a bully and bump into you a whole lot, unless you just leave my ass. We'll see. Nope, I'm too fast. I'm gonna pass him. Alright. Well, we'll get in the zone here. Could be the cold tires or just the fact that I'm taking a terrible line. I don't know why I went down to second there. I shouldn't have, though. That was the wrong call. Ah, my bad, Rema. Sorry, that was just not accurate at all. I'm trying to get in the habit of learning a new skill, and that's using car radar on my single monitor that you see flash up there directly above the tachometer. So the little white tic-tac in the middle is me, and the red tic-tac is Rema. And so for us sad boys, living the single monitor life, it will tell us a little bit about what is going on so that we can do silly shit like that. One thing I know for sure is I have not been following Rema with as much angle as he's been driving with. Had a bad feeling about that one. And so I think that that's been making me have a difficult time chasing him. So, my bad for driving poorly there. Thought that was nice to get some chase practice in, which I do not do a lot of up here. Alright, let's see if we can't do a decent entry here. Nope, we can't. Oh man, I'm going to try a different car. It's been a minute. Or maybe we will grab a different track. I'm pretty sure Wendy was on here earlier and wanted to see Grange. Let's see if we can't get Grange. Give me 2 seconds. And we are back. I'm going to have us switch over to Grange for a little bit. Probably took too long. I don't even think Wendy's in here anymore. But I like Grange. It's a fun track. Or Apple Valley Speedway as they now call it. If we're going to call it that. It's always going to be Grange, suckers. Not about to change it. I'm just waiting on the server to refresh. Save that replay, that was decent. I can get a few clips off of that. Whoop. I'm not sure how soon it's going to switch over. To Grange, but we're going to grab the WDT Street AE Hachiroku for a little bit of a Forest Park hot driving action. If we can. We'll see if it actually lets me join in or not. Thank you for the deets. Rema, if you want to stay Thrustmaster, the TS PC, which I guess is the PC compatible wheel, is awesome. I definitely think that Thrustmaster has products that are competitive compared to the Fanatec products. I know what I like. I know what holy shit, that was a missile if I've ever seen one. Oh, everybody just changed. The server did just switch. And I bet that I forgot to change the camera over anyway. Yep, so that was the least disastrous instance of me forgetting to update the view. Alright, we're bouncing over to Grange. Let's see. If we can get a few slides on here at the end of the evening. Looks like I'm the first one in. Not surprising since I knew that was going to happen. I'm sure we'll have people hopping in here shortly. It's been a minute since I've driven Grange. Ooh. Yeah, man, Thrustmaster's naming. Like, I'm over here looking at their product lineup going, do you want to confuse everyone? It's like the luxury cars and they call them like the ALS 300. I'm like, nobody fucking remembers that shit. Just call it something normal, guys. Please. Alright. Ooh, a little understeer magic. Oh, and crazy transitions. Alright, it's going to take me a minute to get accustomed or reaccustomed. To this track and this car pack. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're gonna send it. No, we're dead. I got to watch this happen so many times at Super D Matsuri. That's alright. The entry is like the last thing that you need to learn when you're learning a track. Oh, wow, this is difficult. The car is like gripped up in the moments that I don't want it to be, where I run out of track and kind of hang myself, and then it's not wanting to grip up in the times that I need it to. This is definitely a course that you would hate if you weren't on a wheel that had a good, strong return system. Oh, Vortex, damn it. Again? Thank you, bro. That's alright. You guys weren't missing anything. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you for making it not completely suck to watch. Although I love all the comments that people drop about how, like, dang, the graphics just got massively enhanced. What pack is that? That's the KameTrick Street Pack. So I'm in the WDT Street S13 Coupe, and it feels weird at Grange. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not bad, but like, it's definitely throwing me off. It's kind of like grippy in all the wrong places, and I've never experienced the understeer that like Vortex talks about in it. He's just joined our chat. Shout out to Vortex. But I'm experiencing it a little bit here. Oh, should have e-braked right there. Here's an innocent guy from OTM who's about to get wrecked by me being a complete nub. Or I'll just go off the track. It was less bad that time. And I'm happy to say I didn't end up killing him, so that's good. Oops, that was bad, that was bad. Oh. I love my homies from OTM. I try not to kill them in tandem. Or whatever you call hitting someone from like 4 car lengths away like a freaking noob. Here we go. I can at least make something of the last half of the track. Or not. I'm just doing my own thing, guys. Don't mind me. Oh, the triples. Who said anything about triples? I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of triples. These aren't the triples you're looking for. just gonna initiate earlier since I'm always like way late. Oh boy. Oh god. I don't know why I'm still trying after all that. That was Rema. My bad, dude. I am not smooth on this track. Yeah, I'm just not smooth on this track. Alright, so I never actually answered your question. Something about it being freakishly cold. The triples paint for that desk, it's just not curing, man. So I still am running a single. Which, trust me, I'm more frustrated than anybody about that, because I dropped like $1,000 on triple monitors, and I have not gotten to enjoy them except for one test event. I should really be in the DW Wisefab cars. I like them a lot better on this track. I'm gonna go fix that. This is the first time I've actually not been completely in love with the DW Wisefab cars. Or sorry, with the WDT street cars. And I've just gotten access, because it wasn't being used, to the DW Wisefab S13 coupe. So we'll see if I'm actually saying that or if I just suck. Because it is otherwise a pretty doggone similar model. Although I need to go to Kobe because their drift team is on the back window there. The Brest Kobe Enjoy drifting. Guys, let me know if I need to turn my audio down. I'll talk a little bit extra right now because this car is way loud compared to the WDT street car. Too much. I'm actually not very good at Grange. I still wanted to drive it. I don't know what that was. I'm mildly pleased that everybody else ate shit too, though, just because I thought it was me. Now I can just say, nah bro, I was following you. All the clutch kicks. Alright, I tried to do something that worked really well for me on Touge Corsa, and as you might have noticed, it did not work here. Right. Figuring it out. JT Pro says, I'm trying to build a rig under 500 with a shifter, pedals, and wheels. I'm thinking T300 RS and shifter. Vortex says I'm going to ship out in like 10 days, so I got to see if you'll let me try the triples before I leave. Yeah, man. We can do that if you make it up here. Just let me know. like, give me a day or two of notice, and you can swing by the house anytime that you're able to get out here and give them a try. I'm sure I can set them up, even just kind of temporarily at the worst, but I'm really hoping that sometime next week I'll be able to, like, if nothing else, later I'm going to get a sponge and just try to wash the surface and see if I can get it to be less bad. And apparently my audio is not too terrible. Like, in my headphones, the game audio is pretty loud on this particular car. But as long as you all can hear me, I'm like totally fine with it. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. We're just going to go around like that. Maybe not. Welcome to WRC 10 with Sylvia sponsorship. Yeah, I'll probably do it when I get back from tech school. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I agree, though. I was thinking the car audio was loud. I was totally thinking it was loud. It's just nobody said anything, so I was kind of waiting to see what I heard. We'll turn it down a click. Whoop. So I don't need that much. Just want to say shout out to all my OTM fam for coming and jamming. I enjoy driving with you guys, even though I'm not as good as you guys are yet in Sim. And I hope that all you guys get the opportunity to, oh, I should have gone to third gear and I totally forgot. Hope that you guys get to try drifting in IRL cars at some point, because I think that y'all would have such a blast and do well. Oh, that was not the turn I thought it was. I thought that turn was this turn. That was queued up for a hairpin. Ooh, not so good. I've got my force feedback up higher than I like it too, and it's making me a bit slow on my steering. Let me just focus on driving for a second. You guys are having a ball discussing the pros and cons of different budget-ish wheels that are decent in chat, so I'm sure you won't mind if I do a couple practice laps here. Why did it do that? That was unusual. Sup, Choopy? I'm just completely not able to drive all of a sudden, even though I was doing fucking great for like 3 hours. Oh, don't mind me, guys. I'm just the host. It's all about you guys. There's a certain time of night in all of my streams where, like, all of my drift powers just go out the window. And some of it corresponds to me being tired, or sore, or just straight up distracted, like, what was that? I had the transition under control and I just used too much throttle and over-rotated for no real reason. We might be approaching that point. Chase, what is up, man? Rema, this track is super fun with certain cars. I don't have any particular recommendations, but like, like, I bet that the DTP R32 Skyline would feel really fun here. It's a car that makes like tons of wheel speed, very little traction, very floaty, so like you'd float around it. But in the cars that we've got loaded up right now, they're fairly grippy cars, and they've got a fair amount of legs, so you end up like really hustling down these straights and then heavy on the foot brake, which like that's what it's like in real life. And for me, I would be kicking ass on this track in my IRL car, but unfortunately in Sim, it's like the worst case scenario. It's like if I was driving with mittens on. And it is a hard track to follow people in tandem too. Oh, parked it. Thank you, Vortex, for educating the people. There's a good entry for once. Got out of it because I went out, but wall. Whew, missed the wall. Okay. Could have been worse. Oh, the clutch kicks. You gotta be ready with the clutch kick on this track all the time in Sim. It's really not bad if you can predict it accurately and just have like a really nice flow. It's totally possible to just ease your way around this track and it not be a big deal. Alright. Nice. So we'll try and talk through course strategy here. Come up to third. I clutch kick early at the barn. I wouldn't go in that early in real life, but it gives me a little margin for error because I keep on coursing out. Lots of clutch kicks, more than I just did to keep it healthy there. Then that lets us swing around through there with way too much angle. You want to be as tight as you can on this apex, because you're going to have to go out wide. E-brake kind of early to kill off speed, because otherwise you'll end up in the dirt right there. And then that will let you come around to this little section here. Save up a clutch kick on transition, a pretty decent one. Blast up through here, and then e-brake and or foot brake, whatever you need to do. And then these turns are so tight, it's like save up clutch kicks. Watch my left foot. Usually, if you watch my drifting, my technique is to just come off the throttle and wait, and then catch the drift and get back on throttle. And that works very well. Oops, I parked it. That works very well for medium and high-speed tracks. It's very smooth, finesse-based style of driving. However, oh my. Love it. The maximum effort, maximum commitment. There go the boys. Such good tandems. So that works really well on medium and larger size tracks, but tracks like Grange, which are just tiny, if you come off throttle alone, unless you're driving a big V8 car or something, you're just not going to make it. The car's going to instantly grip up, and the motor's just going to bog horrendously. So here I do a lot of, if the throttle is in, or if the throttle is not being pressed, then the clutch is, you know, like, because if I try to just use liftoff techniques, the car really struggles and almost runs out of boost most of the time. Like that. Literally kill it. Bonk. What's up? Sorry, I got distracted reading chat on the straight and didn't even try to send it. Let's see how we're doing on time here. 11:36, right on. More Duza, feel removing anti-roll bars in the front helps a lot with these cars. Like straight up turn the anti-roll bar setting to the lowest, or I'll try it. I'm just rocking the stock settings, which is ever ideal. Suspensions. Let's just cut that like in half and see what happens. Oh. Yeah, dudes, I'll hop in if you haven't already. Well, let's wait because we've got the track mech up, and here comes two. Shoot, shoot. I'm sending it flying. That's alright. That was me like every other lap. Feel your pain, brother. Evidently somebody wants to get hit by KameTrick in tandem. Because that's what happens. That's fine, Rema. You can hop in front. I'm just glad to be here. Ah, damn it. Oh god, nope. My bad. I killed Rema. I'm sorry. Interesting to follow Rema. He's got a lot of foot brake in transition. Well, I can't tell if it's a lot, but he's always on foot brake in transition. And I assume that's because he's steaming up on a lead car. Sorry guys, I know I'm not as talkative as usual. If you didn't catch earlier on, I'm suffering from week 2 of a cold that really ought not be that bad, and it just won't freaking go away. So my I've got a cough, sometimes I've got a sore throat. Talking too much just activates all of it, and it's kind of miserable, but I'm trying to bring the stream to you all faithfully every Friday night, because I so appreciate you taking the time to hang. So we are sending it, but I am a little bit less talkative as we go through the stream than usual. Sancregio, hi, this is the first stream I've managed to catch. Well, welcome, dude. Glad to have you. You gave me an excuse to not bomb down the straight and wipe out, so thank you for that. That's the last track I was on. I had the ability to read chat while I was driving, and this track is so fast. Like, well, not fast in terms of wheel speed, but how fast in terms of how quickly the next turn comes at you. Like, screw it. I'm experiencing difficulty is the term with reading chat while driving. But I will get caught up in just 1 second. Okay, we'll just call that and we'll catch up now. What car am I driving? I am driving the DW Wisefab S13 Coupe. It took me a second because a little bit ago I was driving the WDT Street S13 Coupe. But guys, I will lead if you want to see a real mess. But yeah, welcome Sancregio. Sorry, I'm probably saying your name wrong because I can't hardly read it because I'm trying to drive at the same time as I'm trying to read. Don't text and drive, except in sim. God, I missed the chaser. It will probably do way better here. Noah, what is up, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. Terrell as well. What is up? Oh, I'm going way too slow. And then suddenly I'm going way too fast. What was that, guys? I have no idea what that was. It's alright. When I was a Super D, I got to watch someone drive their Miata through the wall. They just like did what I did right there, went way too hard, too much sauce, and went right through the wall. It was awesome. Not like I was happy. Of course, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but like biblically, just did not think I would ever see people go straight up through a concrete wall. But that is Grange. Stuff you don't expect to happen happens there. I am going to try out the Cresta JZX 100 DW spec. So I'm switching cars real quick. That's why the screen is black. We'll hold tight. I can catch up on chat for a second. Sancurigo or Sansurigo. Right on. Now I can finally take a second to read your name. Well, welcome, dude. So we are just switching over. We're now using this, whatever this is. JZX. Terrell, hey dude, thanks for checking it out. We're just getting back pain from spending too long in the sim, as we always do on Friday nights. Noah says, sorry I wasn't able to tune in today. I just wanted to check how the stream was going and hope the stream and the rest of your weekend is going good. Hey man, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going great. I was suffering badly from a cough earlier on, but it's getting better now, so it's good. There's a whoops. Thought you were in the WDT street. All good. All good. Yeah, I was in WDT street, and then I decided to bail from that because I thought that the DW cars would feel a little bit better, and they do. They do. So I've tried it both ways though. Sam Spiegler says we got to drift together sometime. Absolutely. Sim or IRL. Either way, I am down. Ooh, this is a peppy boy. This is gonna be way easier. Heaps less turbo lag. And the car is going to be too quiet for you guys to probably even hear it. Once I get to the top of the track, I'm going to pause and adjust my game audio. This is why everybody likes the big body cars. They have power. All right. All right, on. From Europe, and I don't have a car, but I do have a sim. All good, dude? Yeah, absolutely. How bad is the time change? So my time, it's like 11:46 at night right now. It's probably early for you guys. But coming up towards the end of December, I have some extra time off from work for like Christmas and New Year's. So I'm thinking about doing a couple of early streams, like 8 a.m. my time or something, 9 a.m. my time, to try to show some love to all the folks who are watching from abroad that it's always like 4 a.m. or something retarded. So thanks for checking it out. I'm sure that it's not easy to be up so late or early, whichever one. Terrell says, alt account. My Slidey Boy account is Astrolopophis. Right on. At work. Hey, always happy to provide some work entertainment, man. I wish I had more of it as well. No, you're heading out. Right on, dude. Well, thanks for popping in and saying hi, dropping a like on the video, all the good stuff. Always appreciate you. 20 viewers in here right now. If my streaming program is actually correct. Last stream we had 33 concurrents was the top, so that was a new record, so thank you guys. I want lights on. I can't see what's going on in here. Ooh, all the foot brake action. It's kind of a lackluster entry, but maximum effort on the foot brake, so it was fast at the end. I just didn't go in all that fast. I should have been doing a big feint. And it is 6:47 a.m. in Europe. Okay, well, that's not as terrible. I know I don't like to get up quite that early on the weekend if I can help it. Certainly not after I've streamed until basically midnight. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do, I think, 2. One of them, I may see if I can hop into the Gaia server and actually stream in Japanese. Although they may not want me to stream, I don't know. I haven't driven with the guys much, I'm just in the server lurking. And then the other one, I'll probably just do kind of whatever, because I think my regular audience will be surprised, caught off guard by the fact that it's going to be so early. Right, so I was going to adjust the audio. That's much better. Panda, what is up? Hey, I got the CLS Fanatec, Fanatec, I always say it wrong. Pedals and a USB handbrake. Right on, dude. You are going to be stoked on it. It is a great piece of kit. Okay. Later early streams are good for you. Had to wake up for school today. Right on. Well, always happy to have you. So every Friday at this time, I start earlier than this, but every Friday until about the next hour, basically, until about 7 a.m. your time, I'm streaming from, what is that, like 4 to 7-ish? 4 to 7 or 3 to 7. So you can catch the tail end of the stream anyway. A lot of times I'll be tired and worn out, but I'll be driving. Oh, dude, thank you. Thought I had a couple 100,000 subs. Man, I wish. Maybe someday. I'm just gonna keep on rolling. Like, it is growing really nicely right now. I'm picking up. I think I'm up to over 500 or 600 subs per month. So like, it's a start. It's taken a long time. I've been doing this YouTube stuff for close to 3 years now. I think it'll be 3 years in April. And I started with real life drifting content, which I don't know if you've caught any of my IRL stuff. I've got like an interesting mix of people that watch the channel, because there's a lot of sim drivers, and then there's a handful of IRL drivers, but I'm not sure how many people really care about the IRL content. For me, I think it's a key factor. Like, there's a lot of guys that do sim driving, but for various reasons, either because of what country they're in, or like just, you know, what they've got. A lot of them don't drive IRL, so it's kind of unique to be able to do both. But I'm hoping that when the season starts up for IRL stuff, and I start posting those videos again, that they get as many views as my sim driving videos do. Oh no, spun it. That was starting out to be a really good lap. Ooh, I went in on that train. That is a beautiful train. Hey, well, I appreciate that. Panda says, yeah, I just needed some help. And the GT Omega, love to join you on Assetto. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to go up to the top of the hill and wait for that train. So we're going to do some special Grange time attack moves. Make sure there's no dirt on those tires. Terrell, you were definitely right about track racing. It's taught me tons about braking and weight transfer. Hell yes. I'm all about all of that stuff. It's it really does. It just teaches you a lot about balancing the car, basically. What's up, Max? Good to see you again. Thank you for... Holy shit, are we throwing backies? That was sick, Chase. Appreciate the love and the support, guys. Keep the grind up. Definitely head on an upward trend. The content is so good. I never knew you were on YouTube. And then I went way back and watched a lot. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to jump in real quick and do one set with the boys. Hopefully I don't stuff it right at the intro. Oh, Drezzy, I'm so sorry. I immediately just KO somebody. That was not the goal. Now I feel like a schmuck. Oh man, I tried to jump in. I deserve that. I was trying to jump in politely, but I'm a lot bit more aggressive because it's a sim. IRL stuff, I have never hit somebody yet. I've gotten close and I've had the ability to. I've been invited to once or twice, but I generally try not to. Too lazy to fix my car. It costs a lot more money than resetting in the sim. 4x4 action for reals. Panda says, we'll join you soon. Brilliant stuff. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. San Carigo, I want to start drifting IRL. I just don't have the money and I don't even have a driver's license. Yeah, it takes a long time. I got into drifting when I was fresh out of high school. And it took me a good while before I was able to get a car, and even then it was a stock car, so it sucked for drifting. Not that you need a monster car. I still don't have a monster car, but like, you have to tune it up some in order for it to be all that great. And so it probably took me 3 or 4 years, and it doesn't have to take you that long, but I didn't make that much money at my summer jobs and stuff when I was in school, so it took me a good while to get a car and basically get like coilovers and a diff and like a spin turn knob or whatever. It took a while to get all that set. What's up, Kusanagi? Driving here, not in the chat, but hanging with us. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm really slow. Damn, he's about to go all over the place. Took another hit of the potion and did the two-wheel motion. As they say, I feel like I'm like the widest person to recite those lines ever. But it's all good. Nice. Alright, let's try it. Oh, we're in the dirt. Sorry, I should have reset. Money is a huge factor for me as well, but Aaron's video yesterday helped put things into perspective. Seat time cars seem the first route. It's cost effective. Drift tax is so real these days. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is. Yeah, it's funny, like, seat time cars, like, that's a thing, obviously, but I guess just the way that, like, internet, social media, influencers, all that has, like, made that a buzzword. But back in the day, like, a seat time car was all you could afford, and it was a little bit more like Japan style in a way, which meant, like, so Japan cars are very reliable, tend to be fairly simple until you get up to the big. Can I e-brake this far? Probably not. Probably not. Nope. Once you get up to the big pro stuff, of course, it's all different. That was way too fast. I got distracted talking. But, yeah, so like a Japan car, you know, they don't, like, average guys don't own trucks and trailers in Japan. This, I don't even want to call them subdivisions, but like the towns and where all the people's houses are, the roads are tiny. Like, a truck could pass a bicycle on them or a little scooter, but a truck couldn't even pass like a K car, like a cappuccino or an Autozan or something if you're into Japanese cars. So nobody has trucks and like trailers. Some people have trucks or like Land Rovers or Jimneys. But, you know, because of that, when you get a car over there, you generally build a car that you can street drive to the track, drift all day, and street drive back home. And that's a whole different level of reliability and, like, maintenance. So, for me, a simple seat time car has always just been like, first, do whatever it takes to get a car to be reliable. And then once the car is reliable, then do whatever you need to keep it reliable, and don't make it so powerful that it's going to break itself. Like, you know, you're not snapping axles, you're not blowing motors, you're not blowing diffs. And that's why a lot of the Japan cars are kind of simple and kind of slow. And that's sort of where you want to be at with your first car here as well, for a couple of reasons. I've not seen Aaron's video, by the way, so I'm not sure if this is really where he takes his opinion on it. But like, your goal, if you're trying to learn IRL stuff and you're not using a sim, or you've already got a sim, so like choosing between an IRL car and sim is not an issue. Your goal is to get seat time and learn, or like make sure that what you've learned in sim translates. All of the handwork, pedal work, parked it. Basically all those driving techniques carry over. You're going to be developing the one sense that you get zero help from on a sim, which is your sense of balance. Like physically feeling the inertia of the car in your guts. You know, like there's a lot to that. So you it actually makes it easier than drifting in sim once you get used to doing it. But it's kind of weird at first because, you know, you're not being thrown around in your sim seat, but you are in the actual car. So it'd be like, you know, bam, I'm going over here, and now I'm stuck over here, and then it's going to be bam, and now I'm getting thrown over this way, you know. Can't do it while I try to drive. But yeah, you've got to get good reliability. You've got to make the car, you know, capable, but after that it's really about getting out there and driving the thing. And the only reason to like give it more power is if it can't even drift in like second gear. If it can drift in second gear, then great. You're pretty much all set to begin at that point. In my opinion, you want something that makes a lot of torque so you can do what I'm doing right now, which is come completely off the throttle and not have to clutch kick the daylights out of it, because clutch kicking, you know, shocks the drivetrain, and it's not too bad on it, but it's just going to be easier for you if you can, I'm just doing this for the hell of it at this point, so that you can develop some throttle discipline and get that figured, and then just don't overbuild the car. You know, the worst mistake that I see people who aren't very budget limited make is they build a super powerful car, and then they go out to events and they spend more time changing tires than they do driving, because the car gets like 4 laps out of a set of tires or 6 laps out of a set of tires. And it smokes and it looks rad, but they're not learning very much, because all they do is change tires all day long. It's very expensive. I go through one set for sure every event, and part of another set. At most I go through 2 sets. Tires are, you know, $100 pop. So at most $400 US plus event entry fee, which is another, you know, 75, something like. Factor in gas, factor in food. You're very quickly talking about $5,000 every weekend that you're drifting IRL, and that's with a fairly modest, lowish power car. My car makes 308 wheel horsepower. It's a V8, so it also makes a lot of torque, and if I wanted to burn the tires off quickly, I could, but I drive it gently. Kind of like I'm driving this car right now. Look at my gas pedal. I could be giving it full throttle, but instead I give it a pretty small amount, and I give it what it needs to stay sideways and get where I want to on the track. But I don't just sit there and blow the tires off of it, bouncing off the limiter, if that's not necessary to put the car where I want. Because it costs less money, I get more seat time. So even with a crazy big angle kit V8 car, granted it's a stock V8, but still, even then, I consider myself to have a simple seat time car. V8 swap is reliable. That's a big part of the reason that I did it. It doesn't cost that much to maintain. and keep happy and healthy. So there you go. But what sucks is seeing somebody who either has the money but overbuilds the car and doesn't get seat time and improves slowly because of it, or somebody who doesn't really have the money and builds a car that's too powerful for them to afford to keep tires on it. That would be depressing. Get this badass car done, and then you didn't expect it was going to be, you know, 6 or 8 tires a weekend. You're spending $800 to $1,000 per weekend, and you're like, well, I can only afford to drift this car 3 times a year now, or twice a year now. So again, you don't get good because of that. 250 wheel horsepower. You'll get like 30 laps out of a set of tires. Can't go wrong. I still get like 20 laps out of a set of tires a lot of the time. I'll check comments when I get to the top of the hill because I've just been kind of ranting. But I'm curious to see Aaron's video when I get a chance to check it out. Shout out Aaron. And see where he takes it. And if anybody hasn't seen my most popular video on the channel, and you're wondering, real life simple seat time car or a sim, yes, a sim is worth it. I won't say it's better, because actually drifting IRL is cool as shit, but you won't regret getting a good sim. Alright, let's get caught up. Rama, don't be a TJ Hunt. Are we friends now? Like you even more after that. I don't know. I shouldn't say anything about TJ. I've not really talked to him, but I don't know that I got the grooviest vibe from his content that I have seen. It was older stuff, though, a couple years back. Okay, so Van Bursk, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for checking it out. Just built my rig, got a lot to learn. Well, there's a great community to learn with here in my audience as well as in the Discord, so hop into the description of this video and check out that link. Join in. We've got IRL guys, sim guys, everybody in between. We can help you out. Vortex says, I'm moving my sim seat all the time. It's because you got that force feedback on so strong, buddy. So you're trying to sit there like steering a tank, and I'm over here just whoop. No, I know you don't have to use the steering that much. You can just let the wheels slip through your hands. I don't know. You just drive with gusto. Your mind makes it real, Neo. Arc10 says, is this Grange? And yes, it's Grange / what is it, Apple Valley Speedway, which I refuse to call it that. Arc10, wow, I was disappointed. What with? Cool, what is up? Hey, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. What happens with TJ Hunt? Went crazy, TJ 350Z barely touches it now. Yup. Taylor Ray's Miata is pretty cool. That is a car that is rad. I wouldn't say that should be your first car, but I really enjoy seeing the strategy that Taylor puts into his builds, you know, because he wasn't just doing that only to be different. He was also doing that because it was a great budget option, and because that chassis can be a weapon as long as you can drive it right and adapt to the really fast transitions that you have to throw because of how light it is. It's got such a low moment of inertia that it snaps and transitions kind of like an MR2, not in terms of it having that like tail end oversteer, but just in terms of it being able to change directions really rapidly because there's just not a lot of weight in that chassis. Generally, the lighter the car, the faster and snappier it'll transition natively, and then the bigger the car, like this big-bodied four-door car that I'm in, should be a little bit more stately and graceful and slow in its transitions, which this particular model is driving not quite like that. I mean, they can snap fast too, but That's just how it generally works. Semi-Toxic, what is up, dude? Welcome to the stream. How many people we got in here right now? It says 21. We'll see about that. Because then analytics later always says higher. Last time we had 33 at the high, so thank you guys for checking it out. Ooh, that was a decent entry. I'm okay with that. Botched the end of it, but oh well, nobody's perfect. Discord server link, is it really expired? I will fix that in a second. That's not cool. The link that I had in there is like a permanent link, I'm pretty sure. But if I failed at copying and pasting, or if one of my mods adjusted it, maybe, I don't know. Either way, we can get that fixed. You can also hop over like to my Instagram. I've got the link posted there. It's just in my bio. Just KameTrick at Instagram. Ark10 says, I live like 45 minutes. Oh, I messed up. From Grange. But I never went. Man, if I had known that, when I was in town for Super D, I would have come and picked you up on my rental. I was just... I don't know. I shouldn't talk and drive. I should not be allowed. But, yeah, if I had known and I was doing this at that point in time, I would have come and scooped you up in the rental vehicle and let you experience it. You could have gotten lost with me as we wandered out into the desert and totally missed the turn for like 20 minutes. That was a fun experience. Chat a little bit, and I'm gonna pop on some IRL footage for those of you who haven't checked out my channel much before. You may not know, but I drift in real life as well. This is my S13. I have been driving it since 2003-ish, somewhere in there. Got that sweet and arty wheel on there. It's my first and only drift car that I've ever owned. Haven't managed to crash it too badly. Oh, and we have a good drone pilot in our area as well. This is all footage that... Tell me it's not playing the same clip over and over. I'm going to have to check that. Oh, no, it's not, because my overlay is in the view in the middle of a pretty cool suspension cam view that I put together for that video. Kind of hate that. Alright, let's see. Instagram gods have blessed with this Kama's Discord link. It does work? Okay, heck yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the YouTube link didn't work either, but thank you for letting me know. I'll check it. Maybe it wasn't looking at it as a link or something weird. I'm not sure. Sometimes it amends or does not amend to the HTTP part. Kason says, what force feedback settings are you running? So, I basically run force feedback itself at around 35 to 45. I run it quite low compared to a lot of sim drivers. I like to make it feel like a real car with power steering, which it doesn't take much steering resistance to steer. ABS is 0 or off, DRI is at 0, SPR is at 120, and everything else is at its default settings. All assists in-game are turned off. That's the gist. Terrell, my monitors, unfortunately, I haven't got them set up yet still. Actually, if I had the monitors set up, you would probably see the one over here, because it like wraps around to about here, which is like, it comes pretty close to as far out as the wheel just out to the side. So it might be pretty cool to see if we can actually see one of the monitors in the camera when I get it set up. Oh yeah, the LEDs. That was for a video shoot, and unfortunately, after the video was completed, everybody got paid, but then the producers, not from our segment, but there were multiple segments, decided that they were not going to use it. So not only did it not get released to the public, but I'm not really supposed to release all of my footage from it, so I just have 1 or 2 little clips of us outside of the actual music video that we shot doing it. But there were 3 cars with LEDs, and they spent like $1,000 on LEDs, and it was awesome. It looked really cool. Make the link on YouTube a hyperlink. I will try to do that. Yes, I am still single monitor, sadly. Are you sure that Mr. Steering Wheel is trustable? Yeah, I mean, it looks fine to me. I've got the boxes in the closet back here, which I'm not going to go dig through, but yeah, it's legit. It's got a registration card and everything. Hayes man, what? Welcome back. You'll have to reposition the camera when you switch to the 3 monitors. Yeah, that's true. Actually, right now, this camera is behind. You can't see it, but it's behind my single monitor right there, so you wouldn't even be able to oh, that's all crooked. You wouldn't even be able to see me right now, but I'm looking forward to that, because right now I've got my camera set up on the side, not attached to my rig, because even though it's a very solid rig, the monitor itself does shake a little bit. I don't notice it when I'm driving, but I put the camera up there one time, and it looked like I was in an earthquake. I was just like, it looked terrible. So, nobody wants to see all that. Hey, have you had any experience with Thrustmaster? I'm about over my G920. We got people in the Discord and here in the chat who use Thrustmaster products. I haven't personally had the opportunity to. I would like to. I'd like to do some review videos, but oh man, straight up iPhone 8 footage. How about that shit? I shot that. I trust these guys really well. They're friends of mine, from just a few feet away from the edge of the track, and like, that's slow-mo though. So anyway, we got guys in Discord and in chat that can make some recommendations. Thrustmaster, as long as it's a belt drive and not a belt gear hybrid, I'd say you're going to be happy. Yeah, that's my thought. And if anybody has a Thrustmaster that I can try that's somewhat local, I'm in Oklahoma, USA, it would be really rad to actually get to try the wheel out and do a tutorial on it. There's Kudu Kudu Land at Ebisu. I'm riding with my friend. This is an Aussie driving. That's James Abbott, or Jabbit Bonks, if you're following him on Facebook, and Scott Shembry behind him. So I don't know if you know them, but they're guys who have been active in the High-Tech Drift All-Stars before. Thank you, Rema. Don't go below a T300. So I keep saying a 300 series. I hope that that actually jives with the product names. Oh, man. I wonder if I could get away with doing a just chatting stream. I don't usually do just chatting stuff. I feel like I want to give you guys something more to watch. Although I hope that having this background, I need to shrink my camera down if I'm going to do a long-term talking session, so I'm not in the way of all the lovely footage. There goes James Dean. But I would do one if you guys wanted to do one. TMX servo base is T300 minus wheel. I think so, but I like mine. Should be everyone's first wheel. Very good. This is onboard footage with Fielding Shredder. If you've seen Hyperdrive on Netflix, he podiums in that, and is just an all-around great guy, very genuine guy. His demeanor off camera is basically the same as he is on camera. Just a really nice fellow, and he shreds. Sometimes he shreds his car, but he shreds. 13 drivers on. I am glad to see everybody coming out to party with us tonight. Such good times. Almost putting it back into the car into the tires. But my course strategy in this big boat can be a fair bit different. That would have been fine. We were at the top of the hill. Anyway, we start first gear, second gear, third gear. I must have hit the brakes somehow. Wait for that little shed. Foot brake. Down to second. More foot brake. Oh, the foot brake. Little e-brake to stabilize the car if needed. Full throttle to bomb up the hill. Little foot brake to stop us out to that clipping point. We want to be tight on this, go out as wide as we can, and then around that dash line start e-braking. Tight again, go out as wide as we can again. And now we can start to ease it in, make this into basically a straight. Charge up a clutch kick for most cars. Roll into throttle here. You can't use the throttle too early there, otherwise it's going to drive you to the outside of the track too soon, and then you won't be able to stay on the tarmac as you head up that little miniature straight. Business as usual through the last turn. It's tighter than it looks like it's going to be. And then if you want to try to link it, depending on the wheel speed that you've got, you can come around and goof off, do a massive e-brake drag. Then you're starting in second, up to third. Hard jerk with the wheel at that little house. I'm always using more foot brake than is necessary because, as you've seen, I tend to eat it if I go too hard. And this is what happens if you use too much throttle. It pushes you outside too soon and then you're all up in the dirt. Totally fine in sim. You would ruin your car IRL at Grange. Grange is a rough track if you go off. Now my line is all funky, so it's kind of a mess. We'll try to clean it back up here. It's good to be on the inside if you can, so that you can wait and then roll into throttle to push it up to the outside in the way that you need to get around there. I'm queuing up full lock, big angle transitions to snap the car around through all of these very slow, very tight turns. E-brake drag to a full-on stop. I don't recommend that. I don't think it's cool. But to each his own. It just kind of happens sometimes, whether you want it to or not. And we're in the dirt. I didn't use any foot brake that time. New sub. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. I'm trying to read your username. My eyes are getting all cross-eyed. Agent Tsu. That's what the Japanese character is. That is TSU, Tsu. So I don't know if you picked that for a different reason, but that happens to be how you pronounce it if you speak the Japanese. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Taro says, do you find that the sim drifting is helping with the real drifting at all? If you're not good at real life drifting, absolutely 100%. If you are good at real life drifting, which I'm not going to say that I'm great, but like you can watch my videos, you know how good I'm at. I'm an advanced driver. It does still help. I feel like the less you know, the more opportunity there is to learn. But I can stay a lot sharper in between events and over the off season by driving in sim than I could by, I don't know, watching my old YouTube videos or something. Not that there's anything wrong with watching my old YouTube videos, hint hint, but the practice does help. Learning tracks that I don't have the opportunity to drive regularly is huge. Like next time I go back to Japan, I'm going to adjust my sim rig in advance so that I get a whole lot of right-hand drive practice with the shifter and e-brake positioning. That would be immense, because my biggest issue when I went the first time was just that it took a while to adjust, not to the steering, that was easy, but to the, there's the sub, thank you. But it took a while to adjust to the e-brake and like where the shifter was and how I had to shift. It just was not confidence inspiring, and that little bit of distraction has a big impact on how well you drive. So it helps a ton for tracks. And yes, even for tandem, I'm able to experiment with stuff that I would try in real life, but I wouldn't try as close. So like I can experiment with different ways to dive in and left foot brake onto people to close distance and establish proximity. And when I practice that stuff IRL, which I was doing before I had a sim, I wouldn't dive in as close or in as risky of ways. So like I can, with confidence, try a lot more things, and you know, I might aggravate my friends when I crash into them a few times. But I'm confident from the rest of my sim driving experience and real life driving experience that what techniques I decide work well, that I have learned through experimentation in the sim, will work pretty darn well in real life. I'll have to be a little cautious when I'm first testing them, because there is some difference. But it's more got to do with feel and how you sense everything than it does with it not being the same stuff. It's all just in the timing. It's always the timing. Great question. Patrick got to drive Aaron's big angle BMW in the vid for the first time. It's nuts. Super tight turning radius. Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen Aaron's Beamer yet. I'd seen him post, I think on Facebook, about it, but I haven't even seen a picture of it yet. Aaron's always got neat stuff up his sleeve, though. Cool guy. A little bit jealous of all that he's able to do, but I mean, he's earned it. I just wish that I could earn it as well. I've got one car that I've never not driven, and he's got several, and going to Japan every year. But like I said, he's earned it. Good dude. I need to go again. We were in Japan at the same time, but didn't get to drive together. Sim Invader. All right. Well, if anyone can help with the WiseFab pack, I have the other two, but I can't find that particular one. Rema can help you out. It is also in the Discord. We post up in the KT announcements channel every week what car packs and track we're going to be at least to start the streams and to start the Friday Night Bash, and so it's in there for sure. It's also in the OTM Discord, which Rema is a member of, and several of the most intense tandem cars that you will see driving in my streams tend to do with OTM as well. What are we talking about? Rick Motec? I saw Rick Motec earlier. Roget123, what is up? Really good at drifting, man. Way better than me on Assetto Corsa. Hey, it's just practice, and also good good hardware. Like, if you don't have a belt drive wheel that self steers for you, you're gonna have a hard time, whether you're good or not. Your time of earnings is coming. Look, Kame. Well, thank you. I certainly do my best. Okay, wheel adapters. Is that to put like a IRL wheel on your Thrustmaster wheelbase? Oh yeah, someone did ask earlier about my opinion on Adam LZ. I have met him. I've met him a few times. Or message retracted, but I'm still going to respond to it because I did see it. And someone did ask. I forget who asked. I'm sorry. I saw that and I was going to reply, and then something came up, and I did not remember to get to it. Yeah, I think I've met Adam 3 times now. Texas, California, and New Mexico. Took me a minute to dredge up the the memories. I'm sure that he wouldn't remember me. You know, Adam meets a lot of people. That sub noise is loud, isn't it? Thank you. Appreciate. But yeah, I wouldn't expect Adam to remember me or anything unless he happens to have seen my content, and given how much content he creates, I don't see how he would have time to be much of a video watcher on YouTube. Ray Haas, thank you, Ray. Appreciate you. I've got to switch screens. The sub notification doesn't actually come up on my screen, so it takes me a second, which is why I'm just going to bail for a moment. See if I can make that a little bit better of a scenario. Nope. I did not do anything useful. Anyway, yeah, I first met Adam in Texas. I think it was a Mineral Wells event with Lone Star Drift. And yeah, and he and Nicole were still together. Kind of hate to see that, but you know, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. It's good to move on. And he had the Cream S13. Got to watch him drive some. I was just spectating that event, but I went over to talk to him, introduce myself. At the time, he was not surrounded by a crowd of people. The Texas events, not that they're small, but they're like, there's a lot going on and there's a lot to do, so it was kind of a good time to say hi in terms of the crowd. But I could also tell that he was stressed out and working on his car because it wasn't running right. He had the coil packs out or something. And as a fellow both driver and YouTuber, or like video content creator, I guess I'm not really committed to one specific platform, I feel for him. You know, I'm like, this is a guy who just wants to drive, and he's stressed about the fact that he's having some sort of issue out of his car, so I don't want to distract him. He doesn't look like he needs my help, so I just took a little bit of time to say hey, and you know, just that it was nice to see him, good to meet him, hope to hang out, we should drive sometime, all the usual, and then I let him go back to work. Then I ran into Adam at Super Drift Matsuri here at Grange in 2018, and that was a whole different feel as far as events go. He was constantly mobbed by people, and I'm sure that sucks. Like, it's a weird paradox because you want to have people watch your content, you want to hang out with people, but at the same time, like, you do get into this because you love driving, and so you want to drive, and I feel like he was probably just always smothered by tons of fans. It's a good problem to have, but it would also be tough. I think it's hard to relate to. I mean, I don't have that problem. Like, I appreciate all you guys, but when I go to events, I might have a line of 20 people that want to ride with me. Pretty much every damn one of them, I'll try to get them a ride at some point, but that's not too bad. But if it's Adam, he's got like 2,000 people. You know, you just can't do it. How do you make everybody happy? So, like, he's a nice guy. He's a good driver. He's more like laid back, or maybe not laid back, but like more timid, I guess I could say, than like you might expect from his videos, in my opinion. Like, you can tell that he appreciates having some downtime from all the crowds at events, and I think that's totally fine. You know, that's like one of those things where maybe it's hard to relate to, but if you were always like a public speaker wherever you went at drift events, then it might be nice to have a little bit of a break. So I didn't talk to him a whole lot at Super D, because again, he just seemed swamped, and I'm not trying to be like, hey, 2 seconds, what's up, bye. You know, I'd rather just like wait until some other event. And then last was this past year in New Mexico, where he was actually driving with Officer Dan Brockett's 350Z, and I thought I was going to get to drive with him, but I had a medical emergency while I was out there with my car, and I had to take my truck and trailer to a random emergency room and get treated because I was doubling over in horrible, horrible pain. Look at that totally intentional burst pass. I'm surprised I did as long as I did while talking. But, I mean, I got to hang out with him and Dan a little bit there as well. So sadly, we still haven't gotten to drive together, which sucks because, like, I feel like it would just be a really fun tandem. He looks like he's a solid, predictable, like, good to follow driver, and I'm sure I'd be happy to lay down some leads for him and let him get as close as he felt comfortable as well. I would trust him in a chase position as well. So, yeah, good kid. I like him. Warfare, man. Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys were crushing. Y'all were doing excellent, as always. Rosette says I have a G920 and a racing seat. That's cool. Yeah, G920 is a great entry-level wheel. I haven't tried one myself. I would like to see like how much you have to throw the wheel in transition to help it, because I know that for my wheel I can just let it go and it will spin around and do great. But I think that for a G920 you probably are gonna, you know, be having to help it counter steer. So like you're going this direction. Am I visualizing this right? If you're going that way, you're going this direction. I got to do my counter steer, so the car's sliding out this way. And when you go to transition and go back this way, you're going to take your top hand and throw the wheel to help it start that process of coming around. And then you look over here and catch it, and you're going that way. A lot of that. For me, I'm always taking whichever hand is in the direction that the car's going to transition, and I will have it up high, and I'll throw it down, and then catch and come around. But it's just my style. You can see it in this video, all my videos, IRL or sim. WT Street S13 is so nice. Dude, I know. I need to talk to the guys that help run my servers for the bashes and have them add more of them, because the coupe, oh my god, it feels just like my IRL car. I mean, it's not an SR car, but the way that it transitions is just so good. Sim Invader, you don't have to throw the G29 too much. It self-counters a bit with the center spring turned up a little. Okay. Right on. I do need to try one. I would like to try one at some point. But I think we are approaching that time of the night. Let's see, 12:39. So I usually only go until 12, so we got a bonus 40 minutes tonight because we were just having a good time, and that's awesome. I appreciate you spending your evening with me, but I am pretty tired. So as I always do, I'm going to give a couple of minutes. I'm going to do a few more laps. If you got any last things that you want to say, ask, hear about, chat amongst yourselves, whatever, this is your time to do so. Need more S15s as well. I agree. Plus the S15s just look cool. But I'm going to cut like 4 laps, respond to any comments that pop in, and then we're going to call it a night. Oof. Suddenly feeling like my reaction times are really slow. I got cool mentally, like from not talking. Sort of have to warm back up. Or from not driving. I think I said not talking. Certainly enough talking going on. So glad that cough went away. It'll come back as soon as I lay down. I'm going to have a rough night, but too much. I'm going to wait for these two. Yeah, guys, that was sick. Let's pop down here. Oh, alright, let's see what we got as we wrap it up tonight. Alright. Asman, thank you. Nice to have a chat. Agree. Appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Rema asks, favorite cheapo wheel brand for sim? Gonna ditch this tiny stock wheel soonish. You will enjoy having a 330. It just feels really nice in the hand. I was legit concerned. I'll get to your question. But I was legit concerned that a 330 would feel too small because I use a 350 in real life. But it's kind of perfect. Like, you can't see it, but if I extend my finger straight out, it's just barely wider than my wheelbase. And it just feels really, really good. My favorite cheap wheel brand, not that I want to, like, insult any wheel brands. I'm not trying to say they're cheap. But, like, personally, I would look at NRG. I would look at, oh, God, why am I blanking on this? Grip Royale, if you're into them. And another place to check out might be, I think Vortex uses one, D&D. Either way, because you're dealing with a sim, you're not going to need like a strong wheel. Like occasionally you see videos of people break a wheel by like pulling on it, and it actually like just pancakes, like the metal here just bends. You're not going to experience that, so honestly, find something that you like and roll with it. The only things to consider are if you have like a stitched leather wheel that has the stitching that goes along the inside of the outside. A cheap wheel that may start to fray or come undone. I mean, I think you'll get a year or two out of it at least. If you get a wooden wheel like I have, this is a painted piece of wood, you won't have that issue, of course. I learned on the SDC cars like 5 years ago. Right on. You all are probably talking about stuff that I wasn't in on for that one. Sim Invader, yes sir, was able to get the WiseFab pack. Thanks again, awesome. Glad that we got you set up. Join in next time for sure. Yeah, please do. We'll be here next Friday, same time, same channel. Let's see. Terrell, my only question: where does KameTrick come from? And okay, you're talking about the name. I am in the central USA. I'm in Oklahoma, up near Texas with Aaron Losey. Aaron's in Texas. I'm in Oklahoma. Yeah, so Japanese. Kame is the Japanese for turtle or tortoise, and basically back in the day, I got into performance driving, and I was working on both. I'm just going to exit out of this because I keep hearing the background noise. Right, so I got into performance driving. I was studying autocross, I was studying drifting, whatever I could, basically. And my style is a mix of grip racing and drifting. And going back to that talk about like simple seat time cars, for me, I knew, and this was a long time ago, but I knew that I wanted to do an SR20 swap, which I never did one. But I also knew that it wasn't going to be anytime soon because that was a lot of money, and I was fresh out of high school. I didn't have money. So what I decided to do instead was put money into suspension, brakes, and events seat time. So I had strut bars, coilovers, a good differential, a two-way carbon clutch unit from ATS. That was like the one super baller part that I got. And what I ended up with was a car that had no visual mods, it had no crazy exhaust or anything, it was all suspension and steering. So it looked fairly stock. It looked slow as a turtle, but if you actually raced with me, then you would find that it was surprisingly fast in the turns. So the Japanese slow as a turtle is Kame no Yo na Osoi. So it was like, it looked slow, but it was actually kind of fast, so there must be some trick to it. So that's where KameTrick originally came from. It was kind of a self-depreciating joke, and it stuck, and I kind of liked the ring that it had to it. So it sounded kind of Japanese, team namey. And I'd had that philosophy for a while, but I came up with the name in like 2008-ish when I was living in Japan. So I thought it would be appropriate to start it there, and found out more people were kind of on board with that kind of simple seat time, focus on the driving, and then do power after theory, and the rest is history. Now you're good. More fair on a 350 wheel. Yeah, that's I really like the feel of a 350 in the real cars. With this rig, I think that my knees, you can't see them, but I think my knees are a little too close to the bottom of the wheel. The 350 might actually be kind of uncomfortable with this rig. Excite, what is up, man? Oh, still alive or barely living, one of the two. Gears was fun driving for a little bit. Sorry for the punts. Hey, man, I gave as good as I got. You're fine. Thanks for coming out. Had a good time tonight. Michael No Access, have you heard about the Drift Patriot goo? I'm going to assume that's, let me look at my keyboard. Yeah, the Drift Patriot guy, probably, from Poland. Drift Patriot guy. That doesn't ring a bell, but probably there's a good chance I've seen some content about him. I'll have to check him out. Drift Patriot guy. I'll try to check him out. I'm all about meeting people from around the world. Terrell, that is actually glorious, dude. My middle name in middle school was Turtle since I always slouched inside a green hoodie. Legit. Oh man, I need to make some green hoodies for KameTrick now. People will ask why they're green, but only the folks who know will know. That's also why my car is green in this shot. That's rad. Yep. So that's the backstory. Send you a pic of my wooden rig. Right on. Yeah, I'm rocking the DIY wooden rig as well, and they work pretty decently. I think I overbuilt mine. It's super heavy, but I never move it once I got it installed, so it works out. I need to adjust my live video background because it supposedly plays these clips at random, and it plays clips from this little backroads track so often, and I've got clips from all over the place. I've got like 6 more tracks that I've drifted, and it always picks every other one as one of these. For you guys who are looking for more YouTubers to follow, check out Excite Video Magazine. He is in the comments. That is my buddy Dustin. And he is living in Japan. He is over in Kyushu. If you watch Samurai Champloo, that's where they all wear, Hawaiian shirts and shorts and gaita and don't give a fuck about the establishment. No, he's a good dude though. He's got cool Japanese car content, and I'm hoping that I make it out to visit him and we can tear down the city for a couple of nights when I do. Gears says using a button for my handbrake leads to very questionable chases. I bet so, man. You need a handbrake in chase. I didn't think that you needed a handbrake in like lead runs very often, and it was mostly if you needed handbrake, it was because you were making mistakes. But in chase position, handbrake is an essential tool, and I kind of prefer it to left foot braking. But some of that's just because I'm more comfortable with it. Yeah, dude, of course, happy to shout you out. That's good content. You deserve it. Rema, a fellow button e-brake driver. Rema's also getting a YouTube channel going. Well, I mean, he's had one going, but it's getting some momentum. He just put out a really cool Assetto Corsa music video. So check him out with his OTM crew as well if you have time and want to see some more content. Terrell says, alright, I'm going to get back to work. Have great nights. Remember to stay slidey. Right on. And that is about the end of it for me as well. I am ready to just crawl into bed and I'm going to sleep great. Hopefully my cough doesn't come back. Hey, there's some Grange clips. I was waiting for a Grange clip to come on. There's Team Broken Arrow in the front with those sort of black and white panda looking cars. I'm not sure who's in the black car behind them, if that's part of their crew or if it's just somebody else random. Ah man, that was a good time. And it's in the desert, so it gets cold at night. I did not expect that. It is hot in the day, it is cold at night. Mike says, did anyone here drive a DFGT wheel? I know it's old and loud, but it's cheap. I think I have a DFGT wheel in my closet right now. No joke. I think I do. This car's about to get bumped right here. It's good times. Check your DMs. Will do. Right on. Oh, and Sportsland Yamanashi. This potato cam footage is from 2008 when I was living in Japan. This is the Sportsland Yamanashi. I used to live in Yamanashi Prefecture. I was about half an hour from the track, or like 3 hours by bicycle, which is how I got there. I fucking saw it on Google Maps, and I rode my bicycle up the side of a damn mountain to go see Sportsland Yamanashi before anybody knew what it was. It was rad. Alright guys, it's passable, right? Just for starters? I mean, yeah, anything's passable, of course. I would say there's a lot of better options out there. Like if you already own one, then go for it. Absolutely. If you're thinking about buying one, I would save up for something that's a little bit nicer personally. If you scroll up in the chat or hit in the Discord, you can get heaps of advice about that. But I'd be looking strongly at a belt drive wheel if you can. or like I think it's a G29 or a G25. One of the higher up Logitech products. English is hard. But yeah, it's certainly an option. So mainly what you're going to be dealing with is poor counter steer, and it's going to be difficult to drift. You can do it. It'll wear you out. If you're gonna practice some grip driving as well, it's better. So those are oh look, it's the factory steering wheel life back in the day for my car. So that's my thoughts on that. And yeah, thank you guys for coming out as always. I appreciate it. Stay with the FGT for now. G27 later. That's a good call. That is a good call. Get the basics down, do the best you can, and then when you go up to the 27, you will think that it is so much easier, and you'll think that you got tons better, but actually you've been that good. It's just now the wheel is as good as you are, so that'll work. Yup. What Gear said. Exactly. Alright guys, I'm going to call it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. If you haven't already, take 2 seconds to hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends if they are into Assetto to come party with us, or if they need some more streaming content to watch, introduce them to the channel if you think they would enjoy it. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out. Have a good night. Peace.